Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Mining for All. I have millions of gold miners. Chapter 21. As the gold disappeared, the 3 sacred books fell into Yi Bai's hands. He was heartbroken and excited. Finally got it, practice at night. If there is no treasure in the Big Devil's Rift on the map, this wave of business will lose money. Quote. Yi Bai wanted to go back to practice without stopping. Unexpectedly, Alexander took out another old, dusty cheat book from the bottom of the cardboard box with a smile. Carefully placed it at the top of the counter, where it was originally the treasure of the store. Hee, a new baby is on the shelves. Still within the 2-day period, the price is favorable. Mine owners remember to buy early, the opportunity is waiting for no one. Quote. Ding. Alexander has launched a new treasure of the town shop, the inestimable level of super god level cheats, a throw of heaven and earth. Super god level cheats that have never appeared in the world, it is strongly recommended to spend a lot of money. The ecstatic Yi Bai was stunned by this news. He looked up at the top, this humble book. Throw of Chenkin unlimited moves. At the cost of his own wealth and money, he issued a shocking blow. Every penny is converted into 1 point of damage. As long as you have enough money, even true gods and demon gods can be piled to death. Theoretically, the damage is unlimited. When used, it ignores the level gap, ignores defense, ignores any interference, automatically locks the enemy, and is guaranteed to hit. Money goes to the sky. Quote. Price. 200,000 caddies of gold has been broken, and no one cares about it because the price is too high all the year round. Even so, it is still strongly recommended to buy. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Yi Bai. Grass. A plant. Such outrageous skills. He felt dry mouth for a while, and his originally swollen heart calmed down. Boss, how many treasures do you have? Can this cheat be cheaper? Quote. It's not cheap. Think about it, this move. If an ordinary person uses it, it is possible to kill a god. What does this represent? Miracles, incredible power. I don't have a few in stock at this level. Quote. Alexander shook his head for a while. Yi Bai's heart trembled. The subtext meant that there were still several treasures of the town store. He felt like he was being pooa by his boss. Finally, the smashing pot and iron won a treasure of the town store. Unexpectedly, he turned around and took out another. Alexander greeted Yi Bai with a smile and left. The mine owner works hard and digs more treasures. Try to pack it away as soon as possible, after 12 o'clock in the evening. Some daily props and commodities will be refreshed, remember to bring money. Don't stare at gold all the time. There are also silver, copper mines, and gemstone mines. They are all valuable things. The mole wasn't sold to me, so I can use it myself. Once an oil mine is discovered, it's incredible. Quote. Yi Bai exits the store. Listening to the crackling of the bonfire and the roar of monsters from time to time, I felt emotional. The boss is trying to squeeze me out. I thought wealth was free enough. I don't think that with the upgrade, the gap is getting bigger and bigger. There may be new people coming over tomorrow, and we have to arrange for them to do things. Coupled with the search for new mines, some are busy. Quote. Yi Bai sighed and opened the 3 cheat books to start learning. In the chat room, but because his wealth has shrunk greatly, there is a lot of discussion. Johnson. Hey ladies and gentlemen. See how our newcomer Wang's wealth has been reduced by half. Didn't you show off your gold reserves with me not long ago? Quote. I'm afraid it wasn't stolen at night, or taken back by the boss. Dive down, I suspect his previous growth was an illusion of cheating. Now dismantled. Quote. Despicable Orientals, do all kinds of sneaky things. People questioned the fluctuation of wealth. There were occasional screams in the chat room. My light was smashed by something. It's gone. Something is attacking me. Quote. It's the devil wolf, they're coming to hunt. The night in the underground world is full of danger. The bad news and the cry for help from time to time made many people tremble. Every batch of gold diggers has tens of thousands of accidental deaths. Many people are not in the mood to hang out in the chat room, but clench their weapons. Hiding in the corner of the cave, shivering and hugging into a ball. It's so tiring to work during the day, and you have to be careful of monster attacks at night, so you can't rest well. Panning for gold is really not for people. Quote. Even if you are mentally prepared, the harsh conditions are still scolding your mother. Compared to their panic, there is peace in the gold mine. Yi Bai distributed the 3 kerosene lamps he bought to Grandpa Jack and Leopard Head respectively. Coupled with the bonfire and the miner's lamp brought over, the surrounding area of the hut was illuminated. Meow. The lucky cat also came out to patrol from time to time. Yi Bai rubbed his head dotingly, hanging a luminous ruby around its neck. In this way, the lucky cat does not have to worry about danger. The leopard's head was carrying a savage bow, holding the ghost-headed knife that was hanged before, and patrolling fiercely. The wolf barking and strange chirping that came from time to time in the vicinity was forced by his momentum and gradually moved away. This sense of security made the old man fall asleep quickly. Many people are powerful. There is a leopard head protector, you can devote yourself to the practice. Quote. Yi Bai calmly opened the secret book of armed domineering. Tonight is still long. Start with the easiest first. Do you want to learn armed color domineering, primary? Sure. With the disappearance of the black secret book in his hand, a burst of black energy penetrated into Yi Bai's body. The inside of his body changes rapidly. Armed domineering and glittering fruit have a wonderful combination, like a golden sun rising in the dark. Yi Bai burst out with boundless light, and the dazzling golden light dyed the entire mine golden. The patrolling leopard head, the sleeping Grandpa Jack, and the lucky cat all woke up. And as the golden light spreads, some ghosts lurking in the dark, as if purified, it let out a roar and became a burst of smoke that dissipated. All the demonic wolves, shadow leopards, etc. screamed in horror. His eyes were blinded, and he no longer dared to peep at this mine. Fleeing in a panic. What kind of magic is your lord practicing? It's like a god in a temple. Works wonders on the dark. Quote. Leopard Head looked at Yi Bai in shock, trembling in his heart. I thought I was a martial arts genius, but I only knew the difference when I compared with the Lord. And following such a Lord, why worry about not achieving great things? Unconsciously, the loyalty of Leopard Head increased again. Even more determined to be Yi Bai's ideal of dog legs. After being photographed, Grandpa Jack muttered. Looks like I'm going to let Alice come over earlier. As expected of the same system, it increases the body so much. Yi Bai stretched out his hand and saw the arm originally composed of light particles. At this moment, it is dyed with a layer of deep black, and the metal texture is full. He picked up a broken drill at random, his fingers exerted force. I saw that as the fingers rubbed, the broken diamonds turned into wisps of powder and fell. Congratulations on your successful learning of primary armed color domineering. Currently has the function, hardening. For more functions in the future, please continue to practice, or learn secrets. With the movement of Yi Bai's thoughts, his whole body was dyed into a Superman of black and gold. With a knife in hand, a rock higher than a person in front of him is like being cut by a knife. Rumbling into 2 halves. This sense of shock and hardening has increased my attack and defense by at least 5 times. Yi Bai practiced his newly acquired abilities in the mine. If it is said that the previous glittering fruit provides the best physique, as well as the primary immortality, that plus armed domineering, it is like picking up guns and bullets. A body harder than a diamond, coordinating with the speed of light. How terrifyingly powerful is this? In the past, Yi Bai was extremely fast. However, limited by its own strength, the speed of acceleration is limited. When attacking, it only relies on light particles. Always feel like something is missing. And the domineering of the armed color is like the finishing touch, making him undergo a reborn change. It's like water jets are interspersed with stone and sand, the power is not the same. There is an armed color, and I am not afraid of a sudden attack from the ground. Yi Bai thought of the follow-up functions of the armed color, as well as wrapping and releasing, which would be even more powerful at that time. It's just that the current background is not enough, and we must continue to practice. It is estimated that the breakthrough to the bronze level will almost be able to develop the second stage function. Yi Bai, who had just finished training, couldn't wait to take out the second skill book. The cheapest armed colors are so powerful. What about the Spiral Force? Spiral Force Awakening Secret Book. The source power of the Tianyuan world, the invincible power derived from the mind, cultivate the invincible will. Learning it, you can comprehend the momentum of the king. Quote. Learn Spiral Force. As Yi Bai's words fell, the secret book turned into a light and penetrated into Yi Bai's mind. He felt as if there was a big bang happening in his mind. Start from the singularity, and then evolve all things. From the macroscopic universe to the microscopic DNA double helix. It all makes up an auger bit. Awakening spiral force. Aware of the aptitude of a king possessed by the learner, the spiral force is strengthened. Start to condense the seeds of the spiral force. This wave of cultivation is not as earth-shattering as armed. But the head of the leopard guarding on the side stood up, and the stubble on his face seemed to be fried. Meow meow. The lucky cat made a trembling meow and did not dare to approach the owner who was sitting cross-legged. Instead, stay away from him, his amber golden eyes full of fear. With Yi Bai as the center, a huge vortex appeared. Rotating rapidly, pulling up the surrounding air, space, and energy tools. Everything is quiet, the leopard head suddenly found. Everything around is so quiet. The roars of monsters, the chirping sounds of strange birds, and the chirping of insects all disappeared. The monsters who were secretly observing in the distance seemed to have seen the birth of an invincible beastmaster, and shivered with fear. An overwhelming arrogance that made people want to surrender and kneel erupted from Yi Bai. The endless admiration for Yi Bai rose in the hearts of Leopard Head and Grandpa Jack. Hum! A blast of gas exploded. The surrounding towering trees were all broken in the middle, and the newly renovated soil was plowed to the side again. The substantiation of the momentum. Your lord, this is the qualification of the 95 Supreme. The leopard's head and the tiger's eyes were round, and he knelt down with a snap. Congratulations on your perfect fit with the spiral force. The invincible momentum was born, and the seeds of the spiral force have been condensed. Congratulations on your own understanding of the domineering overlord. When Yi Bai opened his eyes again, a pair of black pupils are like two deep spiral black holes. Majestic, domineering, unpredictable. In his mind, there is a drill-shaped seed that keeps spinning. As the seed rotates, the helical force increases by 1 point each time. The power of the body is mobilized once to complete a big cycle. Every moment is washing the pulse and cutting the marrow to strengthen the body. As expected of the source power of a super world. It's so suitable for my affinity, and it also comes with a domineering look. Quote. Yi Bai's right hand armed color arrogance quickly condensed, turning into a dazzling black drill. The black drill swirled, and the destructive power it produced made his heart tremble. Get stronger. This wave of Yi Bai is an epic enhancement. Combined with the domineering arrogance of the clearing artifact. In just one night, he made up all his shortcomings. The future major path has been determined. I remember that in Tianyuan's original work, with the continuous awakening of the spiral force. Can live forever, break through dimensions, and become as grand as the universe. This power is extraordinary. Quote, Yi Bai remembered Alexander's treasure, the Red Lotus Mecha. Remember in the original book, that thing keeps evolving. It has evolved to the point where it is as huge as the universe, and it is exaggerated to pick up the galaxy as a hidden weapon. Is this thing really under my control? Yi Bai looked at the drill and felt that the future was promising. There is no doubt that the screw force has a bright future. Cultivation to the peak, breaking through time and space is possible. This thing is more metaphysical, derived from the power of the mind. Theoretically there is no upper limit. And after condensing the seeds, it will automatically practice every day, eat and sleep, it will automatically add a spiral force to Yi Bai. He felt very good about this. Finally, it's the treasure at the bottom of the box. Yi Bai adjusted his state and took out the source book. Its surface is like a mottled stone texture. The material used may be a rare treasure in itself. As Yi Bai opened the book, he saw that the place where he landed was a piece of mountains, rivers, vegetation, and geographical seas and rivers. The undulating mountains, the combination of geology and minerals form a cosmic mystery. It records in detail the trends of various ores, ore veins, ley lines, and feng shui. I am comprehending the Book of Origins. The treasure of the town store is really different. Following Yi Bai's study, the cheats themselves did not disappear, but instead seemed to be activated. Glittering, the terrain of the various mountains revolved around Yi Bai as if alive. For some reason, his mind sank. It seemed to merge with the ground beneath his feet. In the original work, the Yuantian book is a rare fetish, and it has written the mysteries of mountains and rivers. Later, after the summary and induction of a generation of emperors, it is even more extraordinary. With practice and understanding, Yi Bai was surprised to find that the connection with the earth gradually deepens. What is even more amazing is that by consuming the essence of mountains, such as gold and silver, use it as a training material to deepen your cultivation. Congratulations, you have successfully comprehended the pulse of the earth, the identification technique, and the eye of the source god through your study. Congratulations on your successful job transfer, Apprentice Yuan Tianxi. Note: if you want to transfer to the official Yuan Tianxi, you need to pass the test of the earth. Find a dragon vein crypt, bury yourself in it, and conquer the world. Unconsciously, an additional occupation appeared on Yi Bai's panel. And the benefits of this profession are unimaginable. Maybe it's not specialized in fighting, but it is the most suitable occupation for the underground. It can explore the changes of mountains and rivers, and find the hidden treasures and sources of the gods. On the Blue Star, all kinds of special occupations such as alchemists and pulse seekers are all in the hands of the consortium. It is a strategic treasure. And he has now transferred to a special occupation by himself, that is, it is more troublesome to become an official source book. To find the dragon veins. And the two skills that come with the transfer are also very extraordinary. The pulse of the earth: if you step on the earth, you can get a steady supply of divine power. At the same time, the intuition of various minerals, divine sources, and exotic treasures has deepened. Quote: there is no need to say much about the identification technique. It can not only recognize many ores, but also find the attributes of the enemy. Is the most useful skill. As for the changes brought about by the eye of the source god, the changes are more drastic. In the previous practice of spiral eyes, the eyesight was strengthened. Plus its own perspective function. Yi Bai was surprised to find that his Yuantian eyes could see clearly even in the dark. You can also discover the continuous trend of various underground air, water vapor, and mountains. Each piece of gold, diamonds, and even the divine source containing extraordinary energy is as dazzling as the sun. Ding! Your eye of the source god has come into contact with the unknown power and begins to mutate and strengthen. The scope of perspective has been greatly improved, and you can go back to the original source and find the source of the treasure. Not only can see through ordinary things, but also discover extraordinary things. Yi Bai's heart jumped. Great evolution. Unexpectedly found extraordinary treasures. Today's harvest is just gold that does not contain spiritual energy, etc. The gods are obscure. Many good things will hide themselves in the depths. You didn't probe deeply and thought it was just an ordinary rock. The reason why human society has undergone earth-shaking changes. It is because of the salvage of all kinds of heaven and earth treasures in the ground. Start practicing and evolving. Among them, the magic crystal, source stone, and spirit stone are all strategic materials of the country, which are hard to come by. In the previous perspective, we encountered various complex terrains, such as swamps and rock groups. The obvious perspective range is greatly reduced. But the fusion of divine eyes can instead follow the earth and find the source of chaos. Wonderful! Yi Bai, who was reborn, felt that the world was different. Moreover, it is still early for him to comprehend the source book. The pinnacle of the profession is the emperor and the emperor. He continued to study the source book with relish. And as the minds quieted down, in the distance, a dense group of monsters approached carefully, wanting to see what happened before. My lord, the vision caused by your cultivation seems to have attracted some unknown dirty things. The leopard held a savage bow on its head and asked carefully. There are a group of monsters exploring the periphery of the mine, and I feel that they are just being driven by people. There should be a leader behind us taking the opportunity to test us. I want to set the nearby trees on fire to drive them back. Quote. As expected of the first detective, he found something wrong from the beginning. Yi Bai has just become a supernatural power. Also found something different. However, he was brave and did not take them seriously. It's just a group of shadow demon wolves. I'll go back when I go. Swoosh. Yi Bai has turned into a golden rainbow and left. Leopard's head was stunned, but he didn't react. In less than a second, Yi Bai had already accelerated to the speed of sound. Compared to before, his speed has changed several times. There is a group of about 100 shadow wolves around the periphery, with strengths ranging from high to low. The worst is the Black Iron Intermediate. The leader is only one step away from breaking through bronze. This strength besieged any newcomer, like a disaster. And Yi Bai just glanced at it indifferently. Who is the boss behind? He is suspended in the air. A grand cyclone erupted with him as the center. Rumbled like a tornado to the wolves. Let you know who is the master of this land. This is the combination of domineering and spiral force. The increase of the two makes the momentum substantial. A wave of air visible to the naked eye smashed the surrounding giant trees. The forest seemed to be ravaged by an 18th-level tornado, causing the demon wolves hiding inside to scream. More than 100 demon wolves were in panic, their hearts exploded, their eyes collapsed, and they fell to the ground with a bang. Spike, invincible domineering. Congratulations on your success in killing X-124 shadow demon wolves. Your strength terrifies the surrounding monsters, and your mine is recognized by them. Don't dare to peep at random. Please note that the boss who was making trouble behind him started to run away when the situation was not good. Don't let the tiger go back to the mountain. With this hiding place overwhelmed. The devil wolf is dead and wounded. A shadow demon wolf king with a height of 5 meters who was hiding behind a towering giant tree quickly fled. No more courage to try. Yi Bai turned his head to look, and the identification technique quickly gave detailed information. Name: Shadow Demon Wolf King. Level: Bronze Advanced. Skills: Shadow Rush, Demonic Wolf Sharp Claws, Crazy Bite. Description: A tyrant at the bottom of the small basin under the river, the king in the dark night. He often leads the demon wolves to wreak havoc at night, a newcomer killer who likes to bully the weak. At present Yi Bai is nothing but top Black Iron. There is a big difference between the two. Any gold diggers should think twice before seeing this boss. But Yi Bai was instantly killed with just one blow, more than 100 monsters of the same level. Is this normal behavior? Just finished practicing, just to warm up. With the power of fruit volleying, Yi Bai turned into a light in the dark night, approaching the demon wolf king in an instant. The other party was terrified. Its speed is proud of its peers, so when you meet this monster. Too much bullying. The shadow demon wolf king who was rushing suddenly turned his head, half-body volleyed into the air, and his claws drew out 2-meter-long blood shadow demon claws to kill Yi Bai. I thought the opponent would dodge in an emergency. Yi Bai couldn't avoid it, but a dazzling black color flashed across his body. At the same time, a black airflow rapidly rotated in his right hand, and a drill bit like a black diamond appeared. Shadow Demon Wolf King Han Mao stood up and saw his proud sneak attack slashed on Yi Bai. Sparks splashed, but not even a trace of damage was done. Not good. Where did this human come from? How is it so powerful? Quote. The Shadow Demon Wolf King was frightened and dared not stay any longer. With agility, galloping fast in the forest. But suddenly, the earth wriggled underfoot. A spear suddenly shot out. Although he didn't pierce the body of the Shadow Demon Wolf King, he was also horrified. More importantly, after this barrier, its speed plummeted, and its body paused for a second. But in this second, the earth-shaking changes took place. The black diamond condensed in Yi Bai's right hand shot out like an arrow. After leaving an imperceptible trail in the air, the body of the Demon Wolf King trembled and fell to the ground with a bang. A large wound appeared on its forehead, and its core was instantly shattered. The pulse of the earth is really useful. Although the current attack power is not good, the interference and assistance are very strong. Quote. Yi Bai landed. There was a palpable sense of closeness when both feet touched the ground. And the combination of spiral force plus armed color domineering is also eye-catching. You must know that the other party is the leader in the region, a boss with a high level of bronze. And Yi Bai is currently no more than black iron. This defense-breaking ability is really terrifying. I guess I can't stand the elementalization myself. Quote. Yi Bai looked at the drill bit that was constantly spinning in his right hand, and called out the bullpen. Fortunately, this power is in my own hands. He approached the Shadow Demon Wolf King's side. Reached out and took out a magic core from it. Let other people collect other materials, and let Leopard Head bring back the bodies of these demon wolves. All are rare meat and materials. Quote. Yi Bai returned to the mine with the body of the Demon Wolf King. Along the way, silently. The monsters around were frightened. I know that there is a raptor crossing the river nearby. But Yi Bai also has a preliminary understanding of where he is. The bottom of the river bottom. Could it be named after that big river? Yi Bai thinks that he should check it out tomorrow, and take a look at what bosses and monsters are in the bottom of the small basin. Can't let them stop their gold rush hegemony. Here, he was contracted. After returning, Leopard Head breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing Yi Bai's 5-meter body in his hands, his heart skipped a beat. Yi Bai put down the body of the Demon Wolf King and ordered. The boss has been killed by me, and there are some other monster corpses, you will get them back later. After so much tossing, there should be no monsters to disturb at night. Quote. Yes, I'll go and pull it back right away. Leopard Head hurriedly agreed. Not to mention how horrified he was to see wolf corpses all over the floor later. First night, Yi Bai slept well in the second half of the night. There are too many facts that happened today, and he slept very soundly. Outside, in other corners of the underworld, more tragedies happened. Many gold diggers did not dig a few grams of gold, but instead became food for monsters. And the first law of the underworld is, risk and benefit go hand in hand. Too much gold and treasures are dug up, and more attention is paid to them. The top 1,000 of the fortune list are attacked by different monsters. Many of them died tragically on the spot, and their wealth was plundered by monsters. Mom, I'm going home. This sincere sentence is swiped in the chat room in the middle of the night. The chat room during the day is the scene of getting rich, and the chat room at night is the scene of horror movies. Of course these have nothing to do with Yi Bai. Peace in the gold mine. Mine owner, wake up quickly. The sun is on his ass, and there is gold all over the floor waiting for you to pick up. Yi Bai was shaken awake in confusion. His face was a little wet, as if he had been licked up by something. What pet licks me? Isn't it too early for school? Yi Bai opened his eyes hazy, but he didn't react for a while. I saw a big, fat white cat with a ruby necklace on its neck. He is sticking his tongue out affectionately and licking himself to wake up. Meow. Seeing Yi Bai wake up, the lucky cat meows happily. When I turned around, I saw a man with beautiful short blonde hair and fair skin. Excellent figure, with long legs. Wearing a yellow mountaineering suit on the upper body and dark blue jeans on the bottom. Full of Western style, the energetic and beautiful girl about 15 or 16 years old is smiling at herself. It was she who woke up Yi Bai just now. Aha! What's the situation? When you wake up, a beautiful girl falls from the sky. Yi Bai was stunned. Who are you? Yi Bai finally regained his senses and realized that he was underground now. The blonde girl smiled and said, I'm Alice. Yesterday, my grandfather told me that there are inexhaustible treasures here, so I came over overnight. I didn't expect it to be an exaggeration. There is really gold everywhere here. Mine owner, let me join here. Mining, panning for gold, boiling water, cooking, I can do anything. Quote. Granddaughter of Jack, Alice asked to join, do you agree? A message appeared. Yi Bai turned to look at Grandpa Jack who was fetching water from the holy spring well not far away. Looking at beautiful Alice. Is this really his granddaughter? That rough old man has such a beautiful girl. This made Yi Bai feel the power of maternal genes. And he just noticed at this time. While sleeping, several messages popped up. Reminder. Grandpa Jack has helped you find a granddaughter and 2 siblings. Alice has arrived in advance. The 2 gold miners please summon them in person. Reminder. Lucky Cat's talent takes effect, increasing wealth by 1% every day. Your current total wealth, 1,700 caddies of gold, some gems. Reminder. Leopard Head was patrolling last night and accidentally picked up 2 pieces of dog head gold and turned it over honestly. Reminder. The daily items in the gold store have been refreshed, the boss welcomes you. Reminder. Grandpa Jack woke up early in the morning and went to the forest that was swept up last night. Accidentally found a large piece of silver, the total weight, 100 pounds. Of course you are welcome to join us. The new mine starts at the time when manpower is needed. Yi Bai quickly got up and boldly observed Alice. The girl has lively short hair. Jeans and mountaineering clothes are all for the convenience of work. Not like that kind of pampered temperament, but full of adventurous spirit. Hearing this, a bright smile appeared on Alice's face. Great, I love this land so much. What are you good at? There are currently many working stations in the mine that are lacking. Yi Bai asked while looking at the attribute panel. Alice said embarrassedly, I followed my grandfather since I was a child, and I know everything about gold panning and gemstones. In addition, the grandfathers used to pan for gold together. It's me who cooks the food and sells the gold. See where the mine owner needs my help. Quote. Turned out to be an all-rounder. Name, Alice. Employee number 3. Owner, Yi Bai. Loyalty, 100. Level, Senior Black Iron. Attributes, Strength 50, Spirit 50, Constitution 50, Agility 60. Skill, Master Mining Technique. Alice has followed her grandfather since she was a child, and her experience is no less than that of any gold miner. Gem Expert. Alice likes sparkling gems and has a special interest in all types of gems. Greater chance to discover diamond mines and gemstone mines. Closing parenthesis. Life Expert. Because the grandfathers were addicted to mining, Alice contracted all the chores of life and had strong management skills. Son of Nature. Alice is deeply loved by nature, her attributes grow rapidly, and she is very adventurous. After reading the introduction, Yi Bai was surprised to find that granddaughter's panel attributes are stronger than grandpa. Just when I need you, today is my second day here. On the third day of settlement, I will return to settlement. The task is heavy. You first prepare the corpses of more than 100 demon wolves last night and prepare for breakfast. Let me summon the other 2 miners. Quote. Well, I have collected those demon wolves in advance. In the morning, I look around. Although there are many treasures to be found, there are also many monsters. Miners should be careful when collecting. Quote. Alice jumped and ran to prepare breakfast. The lucky cat followed. Unexpectedly, one night did not come. This guy has betrayed. Suddenly, he seemed to sense the master's resentment. The lucky cat hurriedly turned around and ran to a corner. He took a glass-shaped spar and handed it to Yi Bai. What, now you know how to please me? Yi Bai squatted down and rubbed its head. Reached out and took the spar. Reminder, your pet lucky cat talent skill, lucky fortune start. Picked up a spiritual stone today. Feeling the extraordinary energy contained in the stone in his palm, as well as the faintly excited spiral force in his body, Yi Bai was stunned. Man, what a big surprise for me. Unexpectedly, I didn't hang a spirit stone, but you brought one here instead. Quote. Spiritual stone, special ores containing spiritual energy are hard to come by in the market. The key to opening the extraordinary era. Like magic crystals, it is the country's most important strategic resource. It can be absorbed slowly, increasing strength and promoting evolution. It can also be used as an energy core to drive machines, etc. Quote. Meow. Seeing that the owner's mood was improving, the lucky cat ran to play with Alice in peace. Alice is gathering some edible weeds in the forest not far away. The big old and rude leopard head foolishly helped. If the food is given to him, the 3 meals a day are only barbecued meat. As soon as Alice came over, it was a combination of meat and vegetables, and started to cook soup and wild vegetables. Yi Bai watched this scene with a smile, and his right hand began to absorb the spiritual energy of this spiritual stone, feeling the enhancement of the spiral force seed. While saying, summon gold miners, accompanied by 2 golden lights appearing in front of him. I saw that the 2 were exactly the same as Grandpa Jack. Only the clothes were slightly different, and a gold miner with white hair appeared. This is the treasure mentioned by the boss. It can be regarded as letting me out. I have smelled the gold, and the whole gold mine is waiting for me to dig. The 2 were like twins, singing one and the other. Seeing Yi Bai smile, unexpectedly, Grandpa Jack didn't lie to himself, their brothers all look exactly the same. In the future, there will be more and more people. How can this be done? What are the names of the 2 grandfathers? What skills do you have? My name is Tom, I specialize in strength, and nothing else. I have a lot of strength, and I like mining on the spot the most. Quote. A grandfather with a pickaxe and a mining hat said with a smile. Vaguely, Yi Bai found that his muscles were indeed stronger than others. I'm Martin, and they like to call me Variety Martin. Proficient in all terrains. Quote. Another gold miner's attributes seemed to be average. Yi Bai checked the 2's attributes. They are: name, Grandpa Tom; employee number, number 4; owner, Yi Bai; loyalty, 100; level, senior black iron; talent skill, Hercules. Tom is the best at physical work, with a 5x increase in strength. Master mining, breath of earth. Another Grandpa Martin who was about the same as Tom in general. But it turned the skills of Hercules into all-terrain mastery. The same level can be maintained in forests, river bottoms, underground, and even the bottom of the sea. Moreover, Yi Bai also found that the two skills of master-level mining and breathing of soil seemed to be standard for gold miners. Since then, the number of employees in the gold mine has reached 5. Compared to others, it is already a big improvement. Tom, Martin, you can count. The gold here is too big for me to move by myself. Quote. Seeing the two brothers coming, Grandpa Jack, who was busy fetching water, greeted him cheerfully. The three brothers met, not to mention how happy it was. It just looks the same, it feels weird. Among them, Yi Bai accidentally discovered that, with the arrival of the two brothers, as the eldest Jack, all attributes have been added by 2 points. What's going on? Yi Bai asked the system. Detecting the arrival of his brother, Jack, the leader of the gold miners, opens his hidden talent. Every time a brother is added, all of its attributes will be strengthened once. Born to rule all gold miners. As expected of the boss. Yi Bai calls Newbie directly, and it goes on like this. After waiting, I really summoned millions of gold miners. As the boss, Jack, isn't it every second? The two grandpas are here, let's have breakfast. Come early, rather than coincidentally. Quote. On the other side, outside the hut, Alice has set up the pot, grilled the beef and pork chops, and greeted everyone for breakfast. You can find these wild vegetables. Put it in front of me, I don't know if I can eat it or not. Quote. Yi Bai took a bowl of hot soup and a steak in one hand. Drank happily. This soup is mostly a beauty. I haven't had Alice's soup for a long time, and it's still so delicious. The three white-bearded grandfathers were full of admiration. Leopard Head also enjoyed it, drinking soup and meat. I don't have to be a part-time cook anymore. If he wanted to be the #1 arrester in the capital, he naturally had to use his skills in other places. Alice also served a bowl of bone soup to the lucky cat, and she explained. It was only done in a hurry. The mine owner's territory is not small, but many of them are not used. With the development in the future, more and more people. We must at least remain self-sufficient in food and water. Quote. Well, about that, Alice's most important task today is to take care of the land, and I will let Leopard Head help you. By the way, a few houses will be built, and several water conservancy facilities will be constructed. Quote. Yi Bai took out the bags of seeds he bought last night. These are moonlight wheat seeds, golden grass seeds, sweet and greasy bananas, and Keelin watermelon. It's a rare good fruit, remember to plant it on the land that was renovated last night. Quote. Yesterday's mining just messed up the ground, this is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Alice took the seed with bright eyes and said hurriedly. I was in the forest just now and found a few pieces of medicinal herbs and rare ancient trees that are not bad. It can adjust the ore veins and make the vitality of the mines better and better. I suggest transplanting them together. Quote. Miss, leave it to me. My leopard head has nothing else, I can't run out of strength. Speaking of which, Leopard's Head lit up his biceps. The breakfast ended in this laughter. Yi Bai took the time to enter the store and swept away the freshly refreshed clover, vigor potion and detonator. Since then, clover +3, vitality potion +5, detonator +10. Alexander introduces him to the new inventory. Boss, the consumption is still 200 caddies of gold, and it is 2,000 caddies of gold. I'll give you a bronze minecart, buy some more. Quote. Good guy, Alexander's got the business right. I saw him take out a pickup truck model similar to a black Hummer from the cabinet, and put it on the ground and quickly grow in size. In an instant, a brand new minecart that can seat 6 people and has an amazing carrying capacity appeared in front of us. Yi Bai's slapsticks are all out. Bronze minecart, reliable material, amazing power, 170 kilometers per hour, can carry 5 tons of cargo. The most practical baby in the early stage. Quote. After sweeping away the daily props, Yi Bai planned to take action. But Alexander took out these treasures and gave them away for free. Yi Bai couldn't leave. Free is the most expensive. Yi Bai muttered in his heart. I still have 200 gold, what should I buy? He swept the counter, and compared with the first day, there were many more gadgets. Such as powerful picks, energy-saving shovels and other gadgets. Now that the family has a big business, Yi Bai has to buy more tools. The gold miners from the province came over without the tools at hand. A sweep doesn't cost much, and these basic tools aren't expensive. Didn't the boss slaughter a wolf king yesterday? The material above is excellent. Coupled with the fact that there are too many people, 2 cranes may not be enough. Give me another 100 pounds of processing fee, and then I will get you a high-energy crane. Quote. Alexander enthusiastically introduced the product. At present, his wealth has dropped to 1,400 gold. At night, the extra money of leopard head and the daily increase of lucky cat are not enough. No need to look, he knows the discussion on the channel about his declining wealth. Forget it, the more manpower, the greater the cost. With multiple machines, you can get a lot more. Quote. Yi Bai reluctantly handed over 100 gold, as well as the bronze magic core, the wolf king's sharp teeth, fur, and even some processing materials. Okay, it's out now. With a thumping sound, after a while, a piece more beautiful than a rock breaker. It was like a crawling wolf, more than 3 meters long, like a shield machine. Congratulations on spending 100 gold to successfully process a bronze-level Wolf King mountain breaker. It can break through many rock groups, flower stone groups, etc. Yes, hand it over to Tom and the others. Yi Bai touched the machine with satisfaction. You get what you pay for. Although Alexander charges a lot, he has nothing to say. Okay, take this minecart home too. Congratulations to the boss on the start of work, remember to work hard. Quote. Alexander also gave Yi Bai the minecart. Yi Bai was happily exiting the space with 2 large pieces, and was stunned when he heard the words. The minecart still burns oil. No wonder the always black-hearted boss is so arrogant. He is sending away a big oil eater. Or put a long line to hang the big fish. Don't be afraid, I remember someone scouring out oil. Just trade with them when the time comes. Quote. Yi Bai opened the chat room and looked at it, only to see a wailing last night. Many gold diggers disappeared permanently. And the beginning of a new day, many people swept away the haze. Return to the passion for gold digging. Although no gold was found yesterday, a copper mine was accidentally discovered. Talking is better than nothing, we can only dig some more copper. Quote. Haha, I don't have much gold here. But there is a lot of silver, it's all silver, and it is no worse than gold. Even if the heart of the mountain is not dug, bringing back so much silver is enough for me to eat for half my life. Quote. Look, you poor fellow. I go down here with a shovel and spill oil. This is wealth. When I go back, I will report this coordinate. Another oil field, the country supports me for a lifetime. Quote. The chat room is bustling. Everyone comes to different places, and the materials are also different. In many places, such as deserts, swamps, etc., even water and food cannot be found. It can only be supported by the food carried by the previous crossing. Basically 99.9% of gold diggers have a tough start. Few of them, like Yi Bai, built their own bases and wells in one day. Long-term acquisition of oil, large volume favors. High-quality food, bronze boss wolf meat, gold, silver, and holy spring water can all be traded. Quote. Yi Bai's long-lost shout-out in the channel. When he appeared, the audience was shocked. The boss finally showed up. What happened last night? Why did the value of wealth fall so hard? Quote. Yeah, John, they have already mocked you for cheating before. At night, are there monsters stealing gold? After 2 days of settlement, can you still maintain the position of the big brother on the list? Quote. Amid the chatter, Yi Bai uploaded several photos. It was a black pickup, a brand new minecart like a Land Cruiser. Yi Bai, hey, man, it's not just a hobby. Spend some money and drop a super minecart. Not to mention, it is very easy to use, can pull 10 tons of cargo, and can ignore the terrain. Things are good, that is, burning oil. Quote. Depend on. It turned out to be an off-road vehicle underground. Many people's eyes are red. Who hasn't seen the car? However, due to the different laws of the two realms, mechanical vehicles operating underground are extremely rare. Who doesn't want to drive a windy car in this golden wilderness? Is this why the fortunes of the bosses disappeared? Really domineering. Quote, how much gold and cargo can be transported by this car alone? In the next 2 days, I am afraid that the production will explode. Quote, the appearance of this car made Johnson, Mike and others jealous. Can only say sourly, isn't it a pickup truck? It's not that I don't have it at Blue Star. What Rolls-Royce, Bugatti, are tired of driving. Quote, hee, but it's in another world now. Boss, I have 10 barrels of gasoline here, selling them cheap. If you want to taste bronze-level Wolf King meat, how about giving me 100 pounds? Quote, soon someone contacted Yi Bai to sell oil. This price is naturally expensive in normal times. This is a baby that can promote evolution after eating. But at present Yi Bai is short of oil, so I can only buy it first. You successfully consumed 100 caddies of Wolf King meat and purchased by 10 barrels of oil. In the future, it seems that we will strive to find oil mines by ourselves, and this strategic resource cannot be controlled by others. And after there are more large tools, there are more places to burn oil. Quote, Yi Bai gave the mountain breaker to Tom and Martin. He himself greeted Grandpa Jack to get in the car, took out the mysterious map. Aim at the Great Western River and press the accelerator with one kick. Let's go to find treasure. After discussions last night, Yi Bai has decided not to harm his own territory, but to harm the outside world. The bottom of the small basin under the river he descended on was already a good start among the gold diggers. Remove those second-generation mines. The coordinates selected by the second-generation mines were found at a great cost by the forces behind them. The landing was flat, with occasional rolling hills, which were also dug up yesterday. Now Alice and Leopard Head are planting moonshine wheat, Keelan watermelon, etc. Not far to the east, there is a hill that blocks the view, about 300 meters high, where it is easy to hide monsters, and condescending, overlooking the mine. Yi Bai was not happy, and gave the Wolf King mountain breaker to the two newcomers. It just so happened that Tom and Martin were so powerful that they asked them to dig to the east and see what was hidden in the mountains. He himself took Grandpa Jack and the Lucky Cat, and drove to the west. He's interested in the SSS level Devil's Rift on the map. The more dangerous the place, the greater the harvest. But first, conquer the great river that blocks the west. If I'm not mistaken, the surrounding area is centered on this big river, where all things thrive. This is a battleground for military strategists, and it is the top priority. Quote, Yi Bai drove a black minecart with sparks and lightning all the way. The minecart with super off-road performance was bumpy like a spaceship, and it was enough for Jack to sit. The Lucky Cat meows again and again, grabbing the corner of his clothes to avoid flying out. While driving, he discussed with Jack, so if we want to take root here, we must first conquer this great river. Even if we don't have the strength to control the entire river for the time being, we must ensure that the nearby tributaries are under our control. Quote, the mine owner is right, look, that river is coming soon. Grandpa Jack agreed. The speed of the minecart was very fast, and the river was only a dozen kilometers away from the mine. For monsters, it only takes 10 minutes. We walked through forests and meadows along the way. Occasionally, uninterested monsters came to hunt him down, but he was scared away by Yi Bai's overbearing look. The car passed through a dense weed that was taller than a person. Eyes wide open. Around the birds and flowers, a group of different colors, or armored ancient crocodiles, or hordes of beasts. Yi Bai even saw two, more than 8 meters tall, snow-white rhinoceros in white battle armor drinking water here. Equivalent to at least silver base. There was a surging sound in his ears. Yi Bai raised his head in the car and looked to the past. I saw a magnificent river more than 1,000 meters wide galloping, dividing the two places. Countless beasts are absorbing water on both sides of the river, and occasionally large birds with a wingspan of 10 meters fly in the air to fish in the river. As Yi Bai guessed before, the biosphere in the surrounding area is centered on this super river, including his small basin bottom under the river. Mine owner, you said you want to cross this big river to hunt for treasure. I find it a little difficult. Quote, Grandpa Jack was surprised and delighted. He saw the banks of the great river, shining brightly. Gold, gold sand, silver nuggets, sporadic gems, and broken diamonds were washed away by the river water as if they were free of money. Buried in the sand, the monsters don't even bother to watch. This is the real bending over to pick up the treasure. Solemn reminder. You have discovered an unknown new map, Silver River. Please note that this piece of land cannot be explored by newcomers. It's hidden boss, there is no lack of silver level, and even gold level. It is recommended that new miners find tributaries and open up new territories. The red warning that popped up made Yi Bai's heart skip a beat. The intrusion of the minecart also broke the calm on both sides of the river, and giant beasts and monsters looked over indifferently. Yi Bai is fierce, but not stupid. He coughed twice and prepared to drive back. Let you occupy it first, and it will always belong to me later. First find a tributary to dominate, and slowly figure it out. Quote. The lucky cat was so frightened that it hid in Yi Bai's clothes, and was not arrogant before. If it is said that the small basin under the river is a rookie start, it is suitable for level 0 to 10, and it can be mixed with advanced bronze. It is obvious that this large map is a leap span, suitable for level 50 to 100. High-level bronze creatures are cannon fodder here. Just when Yi Bai was about to return home, unexpectedly, a mutation occurred. In the air, there was a silvery gleaming head, and with its wings outstretched, a giant silver bird with a length of more than 10 meters was hunting in the river. Caught a big fish up to 4 meters long, just about to fly away. The surface of the river exploded, with a dragon's head at one end. Covered in cyan dragon scales, the behemoth of unknown length suddenly went out to sea. Surprised by thousands of waves. One bite on this silver bird, dragging it down into the white galaxy, and feasting on it. The monsters around were startled. But soon enough, they continued to drink water and forage for food. Yi Bai's identification technique roughly saw the level of the two monsters. Shocked him into a cold sweat. Silver Cloud Tiger Eagle, the top silver boss, a tyrant in the air. Strength and speed are all top-notch, and they often feed on tigers and leopards. Quote. But this top silver was killed in seconds. The dragon-shaped monster hidden under the river is the real super boss. And in the shock just now, Yi Bai also saw a rough idea. Prehistoric Emperor Dragon Crocodile level. Race. It is speculated that the blood of the Dragonborn has been highly purified under the continuous evolution. At present, this is the River Lord of the White Galaxy, the real regional overlord. Incomparable, strongly recommended to stay away. Quote. Slip away, come back later. Yi Bai stepped on the accelerator and drove away. Even if you want to go to the Devil's Great Rift, you don't have to cross this river. Isn't this old birthday star eating arsenic, courting death? The crocodile was really fierce just now. If Bobo saw it, he would be very happy. Grandpa Jack said with emotion. Bobo is the Popeye he mentioned earlier. I heard that the combat power is on the table, and it is the force of the gold miners. But where does this great river end up? The sea. Yi Bai guessed. In the future, with the development, there is always a need to find out. Alexandria has a shipping company, and there is no reason not to go deep into the ocean with their own hands. That's a lot of wealth. And as Yi Bai drove to search, under the guidance of the Lucky Cat from time to time, they finally discovered a 200-meter-wide tributary of the White Galaxy. And after arriving nearby, Lucky Cat's eyes lit up. Yi Bai's dragon beard bracelet was also slightly hot. Huh, is there a gem mine here? Reminder, you have entered a new map. Small River Basin, tributary of White Milky Way. There are many monsters inhabiting the small river basin, and the products are rich, but please pay attention to safety. This place is really good, not far from the gold mine. It is not as choppy as the mainstream of the White Galaxy. Although there is no mainstream place, there are gold sand and broken diamonds everywhere, so exaggerated. But there are also golden dots flickering from time to time. More importantly, as soon as it came, Dragon Beard responded. Yi Bai took Grandpa Jack out of the car and opened his eyes wide open. Find gem mines along the ley lines. But the strange thing is that with his current high luck, plus the blessing of the Lucky Cat, the source has not been found for a long time, but some sporadic broken diamonds appeared. You have found a large diamond worth 500 gold. You found a small diamond of 100 gold. These gains may others be satisfied. But it wasn't enough for Yi Bai, whose appetite was growing. These vapors obstruct my perspective, with the white Milky Way as the source. Water vapor seeps into both sides. Coupled with the constant movement of monsters, the terrain here is more complicated. Quote. Yi Bai frowned. It seems that it is not so easy to find the source at a glance. He greeted Grandpa Jack, built the rock-breaking rig. I plan to stay rooted here for a long time. In the future, this will be our second base, and the feng shui is so good. It also has direct access to the river, whether it is life or future development. Quote. Mine owner, since we are going to take the diamonds slowly. The source of the ore vein was not found, so I brought Alice with me. She is also very researched on these. I think it can help you find the source of gems faster. Quote. Grandpa Jack tried to pan for gold and fish on the riverbank. The soil here is wetter than outside, and there are monsters from time to time. The difficulty increases, but the rewards are also greater. Is the occasional blasting with a detonator, the movement is a bit big. Okay, I'll go and bring Alice here too. You first pan for gold here. If something happens, eat a clover and run away. Quote. Leave some equipment, and leave the lucky cat here to add European energy. Yi Bai drove home quickly. The speed is fast all the way, and there is no way to open up. Yi Bai was very satisfied with the performance of the minecart, and occasionally a monster would run over it. It was the oil gauge that was plummeting, and he frowned when he saw it. Can't delay any longer, wait for the gem dragon mouse at night. At what cost? It can give clues to the oil field. Quote. Under the full force of the attack, it took less than 10 minutes to reach the gold mine. As soon as it got close, it's a rumbling explosion. I saw that half of the hill to the east had disappeared. Two violent elements, Tom and Martin, buried detonators and bombed with mountain breakers. The effect is striking, and the view to the east is much wider. The two old men said hello when they saw the boss coming back. Boss, look what we found. A whole mountain of silver. Haha, if in ancient times, we are rich enough to rival the country, silver everywhere. Quote. And there seems to be something good hidden in it, and from time to time a group of nasty goblins come to make trouble. Fortunately, we and the leopard head drove away. Quote. Yi Bai drove over in surprise and observed it carefully. I saw that half of the mountain was blasted, revealing beautiful silver. The eyes of the man who shines flicker. Your employee accidentally found a huge silver mine in the east. Digging hard. There seems to be some treasure hidden in the silver mine. Tom and Martin are full of energy. Even if he didn't work himself, the numbers on the wealth list kept jumping. Although the price of silver is cheaper than that of gold, it is better than the quantity. If a territory wants to develop, it is natural to have reserves of various materials. The structure is too simple and easy to be out of balance. Yi Bai nodded in recognition. It's a treasure. When the east side is opened, it can expand into the forest again. Be careful when you mine. What monsters do you encounter? Remember not to be reluctant to detonator, just hit me and it's over. When there is an unstoppable crisis, I will come and solve it myself. Quote. Okay, boss, watch us dig this mountain clean today. There might be something unexpected. Quote. The two old men were full of energy. At the rear of the mine, the fertile land was cultivated and watered from the wellhead. A large amount of moonshine wheat, a small amount of sweet banana and Keelin watermelon have been cultivated. The farmland is neatly arranged like a work of art. The best seeds of the golden grass are scattered around and have sprouted. Grow in the sun and shine with gold. Alice is very efficient, don't farm for now. Go to the river with me, there's a hidden gem that's hard to find. Quote. He drove and greeted Alice to get in the car. He ordered Leopard Head to take care of everything in the pastoral fields, and then ran to the small river valley. Mine owner, what treasures are there by the river? In the car, Alice took off her hat. Facing the cold wind, the perspiration was blown away from her hair. She asked with a happy smile. Gold, sand and diamonds are all over the place, it's just too dangerous. There's always a big guy messing around. Quote. Yi Bai drove with one hand and chatted with Alice with the other. Don't say, there are more girls in the mine. More fun. And who doesn't like such a hard-working and capable girl? World announcement. Yan Guo Mulingwei successfully unearthed the third mountain heart in this issue. Successfully promoted to mine owner. In order to reward his achievements, the area of the mine has increased by 0.5 times. In the remaining 2 days of the mine, the output tripled. Suddenly, an announcement resounded in Yi Bai's ears. Then it seems to be the blowout period. The 4th, 5th and other gold diggers have successively excavated the heart of the mountain. The coordinates chosen by these top gold prospectors are excellent in themselves. And after a day of investigation, they finally got something. Yi Bai is also a little stressed, although his wealth has grown. There are constantly reminders of the miner's harvest. But compared to the previous leap-forward growth, still slowing down. So after he took Alice to the small river valley. Don't hesitate, take Clover on the spot. Filled with buffs, holding a lucky cat, and looking for gem mines with Alice. With Yi Bai's full firepower, Yuenshin's eyes shone with golden light. Everything in the subsurface of the small river basin is vividly visible. A wisp of water vapor rose up, and the gold nuggets and gems buried in the silt by the river were also as obvious as bright lights in the dark night. Every now and then a skeleton would appear before him. Grandpa Jack successfully salvaged a diamond. Grandpa Jack successfully salvaged a giant elephant skeleton. It can be decomposed into 2 pieces of ivory, and the bones can be ground into powder. Occasionally, there are reminders interspersed in the ears. Miner, look at the bottom of the river. The treasure here should be centered on this river, the diamonds that Grandpa salvaged. Just washed by the river on both sides. Quote, Alice researched it, and made an opinion. Her words opened up Yi Bai's blind spot. He turned his head to look at the nameless river again, and saw the river rushing. Every now and then a plump fish jumped out. Diamonds are immersed in the bottom of the river waiting for others to salvage. After determining the approximate source, as Yi Bai looked intently, he saw strands of treasure energy dissipating along the river to both sides. The reason why Yi Bai didn't find out the first time just now. Also because of river disturbance. You guys be careful here, I'll go to the bottom of the river to find it myself. To find out, Yi Bai took off his clothes and jumped into the river to observe himself. Be careful of mine owners, the monsters in the river are more terrifying than those on land. Grandpa Jack and the 2 were very worried about his safety, but Yi Bai was a bold artist. You can't go to sea after eating devil fruit. It's because there are sea floor stones in the sea. And obviously there is no such thing in this world. With a thud, Yi Bai sank to the bottom of the sea to block his breath, and a group of piranhas surrounded him. Court death. With him at the center, a substantive tyrannical arrogance erupted at the bottom of the river. The 2 people on the shore only felt an air explosion. The next moment, a huge vortex appeared in the center of the river. Hundreds of piranhas turned belly up. The grandfather and grandson looked at each other, not waiting for them to wonder. Next moment, the light of gems that even the river can't stop burst out. Haha, look what I found, a big diamond mine. Yi Bai's laughter echoed at the bottom of the river. But then, as the source of God's eyes continued to observe, he found the source of these diamonds and found that these diamond mines were just the periphery. The real core is the spiritual stone veins buried at the bottom of the river. Covered by silt, water vapor, and yellow sand. This group of spirit stone mines are hidden deep in the river bottom, and many monsters have not been found. That's why Yi Bai is so hard to find the source on the shore. Reminder. Congratulations on your discovery of a big treasure at the bottom of the river, a diamond mine with a high output. Reminder. Congratulations on discovering a hidden treasure at the bottom of the river, a small spiritual stone mine. These 2 news moved Yi Bai. In particular, the spirit stone mine, placed in the outside world, is enough to alarm a province. How many evolutionaries can be cultivated? He wiped off the yellow sand. The spiritual stones at the bottom of the river have abundant spiritual energy, which purifies the surrounding river water into spiritual water. Yi Bai's dusty cultivation base has faint signs of breakthrough. If you get this batch of spirit stone mines, you will definitely be able to break through. But just when he was happy, he planned to float ashore and call for people to dig up. A sudden burst of vigilance in my heart. A huge black shadow crashed out of the spirit stone mine. It slammed into Yi Bai with a bang. Elementalization. Crucial moment. Yi Bai's body was in the river, turning into a golden light and dissipating in the river. The big black shadow fluttered in the air. At this time, It was only after Yi Bai could see the face of the other side that it was a super large carp with 2 dragon beards that weighed 1,000 jins, covered with scales all over his body. Warn, you have entered the realm of the Lord of the Small River Basin, the overlord of the tributaries, the king of the iron-backed carp. Because of absorbing spiritual energy all the year round, the king of the slaughtered carp has an unknown mutation, and he is extremely fierce in the field. Note: in order to occupy the little spirit stone mine, you must defeat the guardian beast. Yi Bai's figure condensed in the river again, and his eyes were full of fighting intent. Good come. This iron-backed carp king absorbed spiritual energy and broke through the racial restrictions. In the river, the strength has exceeded the category of bronze level. It is estimated that Mo has reached the strength of primary silver. Coupled with the fact that this place is its base camp, it is even more powerful. With the call of the king of the carp, from all corners of the river, rushing out of all kinds of carp in countless colors. Hundreds of red carp rushed towards Yi Bai. If you can't kill him, you can drown. In the eyes of Alice and Grandpa Jack on the shore. This nameless river, after Yi Bai jumped into it. Like boiled hot porridge, a fish was blown out. Now the fish are running wild. Tens of thousands of carp blocked the river, and the scene was breathtaking. To deal with me, using a group attack is the stupidest way. Being submerged in a school of carp, Yi Bai didn't panic at all. Instead, the drill in the brain is spinning rapidly. A spiral force rushed through the body. It spreads out along a substantial overlord color wave. As we all know, bombs are several times more powerful in water than in the air. And the domineering explosion is the same. Blast me. With an earth-shattering explosion. The river was cut off in the middle. A 100-meter-high wave exploded, and tens of thousands of red carp were blasted to the sky. They never dreamed that they would one day be side by side with the sun. Near the small river basin, it was like a carp rain. Falling down, the waves are like waterfalls. Collapsed. It seemed that it was pouring rain on the shore, and the rain mixed with fish and shrimp crashed down. Drizzle Alice and Lucky Cat into soup. Ola ola. In the rainstorm, there was a loud shout. And a giant drill bit that is covered with armament and domineering, as if it can pierce the world. Above the drill, it is the Lord of the Small River Basin, the king of the iron-backed violent carp. The Lord of the River no longer had his prestige, but instead was blasted into the sky by Yi Bai with a single fist. The proud iron back was quickly drilled, and the crystal scales splashed like gems. Chapter 31. Since you have the ability to open up the battlefield, why do you need to fight hard at home? After Yi Bai used the identification technique to check the attributes and skills of the Storm King, decisively formulated the tactics of the Overlord color clearing the field, and the drill hit the violent Carp King into the air. In a very short period of time just now, Yi Bai cut off the river with domineering first, and took the opportunity to fly the King of Carp. After leaving the river, the attributes of the iron-backed Carp King suddenly dropped by half. So far there is nothing to be afraid of. At the bottom of the river, I have to be careful with 3 points. When you get to shore, it's not up to you. Quote, people are still in the air. Yi Bai has already used extreme speed to transform into the speed of light. Crazy hit the violent Carp King. There are several thousand pounds of behemoths, and the fish scales are covered with a thick layer. However, after repeated blows from the drill bit and kicks at the speed of light, the dragon scales burst. The proud iron back was flattened. The most embarrassing thing for the tyrant Carp King is, it is in the air and has no ability to resist. Often wants to wiggle its tail and fall back into the river. Yi Bai is just a move to kick the homeopathic, to re-raise the distance. Many of the skills of the Storm King are used in water and are extremely powerful. But in the air, there is nowhere to borrow. Even if there is a brute force, there is nowhere to use it. Every time the Carp King uses skills such as carp straightening, dragon swinging tail and so on, Yi Bai relied on the speed advantage to dodge and advance. In this unstoppable situation, a generation of Xiaohe Overlord, the big boss who broke through the limits of the race, turned out to be a sandbag. The iron-backed Carp King was not reconciled, and spit out the air bubbles stored in his body. Performed a big move. I saw that as the king of the carp spit out bubbles. One by one, flickering bubbles rose up, submerging everything around them. The little tricks of carving insects, I dare to make an axe. Yi Bai ducked in the air without caring, although his mouth didn't care. But after all, it is the ultimate trick of boss to press the bottom of the box. Yi Bai took out a few detonators very carefully. Directly thrown around the Carp King. Boom! With several violent explosions, the sea of clouds was shaken away. The multicolored bubbles that surround the king of the carp. Burst, fly, fly. Anyway, the detonator is a daily prop, the price is cheap. Yi Bai didn't feel bad at all. And with this big move being broken, the king of the slaughtered carp no longer had a chance to turn over. A generation of overlords in the small river basin, suffocated in the air, was kicked to death by Yi Bai's 18 speed of light. It didn't cause him any harm until death. Reminder: congratulations on successfully killing the iron-backed Carp King, the overlord of the Shaohei Basin. You have declared your strength to the surrounding lords and gained the approval of the surrounding. Diamond mines and small spirit stone mines are also under your command. Congratulations on completing the regional hegemony mission, defeating the overlord perfectly, and gaining control of the small river basin. In the process of condensing the river card. In a series of prompts. The last one made Yi Bai stunned. He lifted the Carp King's body with one hand and put it on the ground. The value of this violent Carp King is unimaginable. Not only is its meat delicious, but it is 10 times more precious because it absorbs spiritual energy all year round. But now is not the time to focus on it. Alice and Grandpa Jack also looked towards the river. I saw that with the violent Carp King was defeated. The rivers changed hands, and the steam rose up one after another. Condensed into a card that depicts a meandering river divided by a super big river, with pictures of many animals living on both sides of the river. This unexpected joy exceeded all expectations. It seems that most of the resource cards in other people's hands were obtained by defeating regional overlords. Yi Bai was overjoyed. It can be regarded as occupying its own territory. Before long, with a multicolored light blooming, this card flew into Yi Bai's hand. At the same time, a more magnificent voice sounded. World announcement. Congrats to the gold miner. Yi Bai successfully defeated the regional overlord iron-backed Carp King. Win a party's territory, get a diamond load and a small spirit stone load. Congratulations to Yi Bai for successfully obtaining the Little River Basin of the B-level river card. Rivers can be moved near territories. In order to reward him for being the first lord to excavate spirit stone mines and dominate one side's area in this issue. Special reward B-level resource card, Black Earth. This announcement, like a grenade thrown into a pond and exploded. On the second day, many gold diggers found unexpectedly. The news of the heart of the mountains followed one after another. Just when everyone thought the big brother, Yi Bai. When Zhong Lang is exhausted. He used this announcement to slap those doubters in the face, declaring that his strength is still the same. Your big brother is your big brother. The river card you played. It's still B-level, which is really a bit of a pen. Have you heard that the newcomer is so accomplished? Quote. Yi Bai's wealth keeps growing every moment. It can be guessed that he has his subordinates to help him dig, and there may be more than one digging machine. At present, his total wealth has exceeded 3,000 caddies of gold. He himself has expanded the territory, and under the snowball, it is difficult for other miners to catch up. Quote, Johnson in second place, Muling Wei in third place is almost hopeless. Everyone, except for the B-rank cards. Don't you see the treasure he found? My darling, a small spirit stone mine, how many powerhouses can it cultivate? I am afraid that the country will send people to buy it with a lot of money. Quote, he should have moved the river near the mine. Also rewarded with a B-level fertilizer card. The price of 2 cards is probably more than 1 billion. Contribute to the official, can be a regional leader. This wave of Yi Bai has gotten fat, and he is simply envious of others. Quote, whether it is 2 cards or a small spirit stone mine. There was a shock, and the 2 cards were enough to expand the mine several times. Compared with the newly formed mines of others, there is no doubt that Yi Bai is already a notch ahead. Its strategic resources are enviable. Even Johnson, Mike, and Mei Chuan, who had been hostile to him before, sent private messages to ask if Lingxi could be sold. Price is definitely not an issue. This kind of baby, no one will think too much. The country must win at all costs. With just a few spirit stones, Yi Bai cultivated by himself. Gold miner promotion is not enough, sometimes it can also be used as a blue bottle to restore energy. Such a treasure, how could it be sold to other people? Naturally it was a refusal. If you want to sell it in the future, remember to contact me. The price I have here will definitely not make you suffer, and it will not be the enemy. Quote. Among them, Mu Lingwei quietly replied. Yi Bai knew that she had an official background, and was happy to do so. So many carp, enough for us to eat for several days. It's a good meal at noon. Alice, you can take care of this tyrannical carp king. The freshest fish are made into sashimi at noon and boiled in soup at night. Quote. Yi Bai caught the card from the Shaohe River Valley in one hand and the Black Earth card in the other. Say hello to Alice for lunch. At the same time, he told Grandpa Jack. Grandpa Jack, give priority to salvaging the Spirit Stone mine at the bottom of the river. In the afternoon I used a card to move this tributary near the mine. Quote. After using the card, the original location will change. The most important thing is that the hidden minerals and spiritual stones will be migrated together. Even the piranhas, carp and other fish products in the river will be taken away by the river. And with the small river basin, basically, there is no need to worry about the lack of fish to eat in the mine, and the freedom of fish is realized. It is precisely because of the importance of cards that they are invaluable. Okay, salvage this group of treasures, I guess I can upgrade. Quote. Grandpa Jack is eager to try. Swinging the pointed drill, he threw it into the river. After a while, a large piece of sparkling, aura-overflowing spirit stone was salvaged. Reminder. Grandpa Jack successfully salvaged the Spirit Stone X10. The experience value increase is huge. Along the way, there are piranhas who smell and try to bite the hook and eat the Spirit Stone. He was frightened away by Yi Bai's domineering aura. Feeling the Spirit Stone that was salvaged, Yi Bai's heart surged. The seeds in his body spun rapidly, absorbing spiritual energy. Since awakening the spiral force, coupled with the transfer of apprentice Yuan Tianxi, the experience value he needs is terrifyingly high. It is reasonable to kill a series of bosses, and the experience gained is enough for ordinary people to upgrade 10 times. But in Yi Bai's place, it gets stuck frequently. Of course, his own combat power is also 100 times that of the same level, and the energy required for breakthrough is naturally different from ordinary people. However, how much experience is needed? That's enough for now. Quote. Yi Bai was studying the two cards with a smile. Shaohe Basin didn't need to say more. Another reward card, depicting nutrient-rich black soil, well organized in the pastoral. Each seedling is thriving and bearing fruit. Black Land B-level resource card, rare fertilizer. After use, 100 acres of land in the territory will be improved. Yield plus 5 times, ripening 10 times faster. Quote. Wonderful. Yi Bai praised again and again. With it, farming is worry-free. Alice, on the other side, started to dissect the armored carp king by the riverside. This boss has been swallowing spiritual energy all the year round, and even the flesh is shiny. The wisps of aroma make you hungry. Reminder. Alice deconstructed the iron-armored Storm Carp King and obtained a total of Reiki Carp Meat X 3000 Caddies, Storm Carp Helmet X1. Reiki Magic Core X1, Rare Stormy Carp Skin X1, Stormy Carp Whiskers X2. Alice's craftsmanship has greatly improved due to the dissection of the Violent Carp King. This trip is really right, I have such a harvest halfway. I really don't know what great treasures there is in the Devil's Great Rift. Yi Bai couldn't help but pick up a piece of raw fish with his hands and eat it. The entrance is very smooth, the fish is tender. There is no trace of earthy smell, on the contrary, there is still a mouthful of spiritual energy. Ate one piece and another. Accelerating with the spiral force in Yi Bai's body. The level that stuck him for so long is crumbling. That's what it feels like. Yi Bai didn't dare to delay, and sat cross-legged by the river. Hold the spirit stone in one hand and absorb the energy. Eating violent carp meat in one hand to replenish its physique, its body is like a black hole, madly devouring the surrounding energy. Glittering fruit, spiral force seed, Yuan Tianxi occupation. Due to various factors, the energy required by Yi Bai is enormous. Breaking through now, the time it takes is not overnight. Not only is the energy enhanced, but even the body transformed by the glittering fruit has been strengthened, awakening more fruit abilities. Fortunately, there are Grandpa Jack and Alice guarding him. Yi Bai, who is immersed in cultivation. A reminder came from time to time. Reminder. Grandpa Tom and Grandpa Martin have broken through the eastern hills and are mining silver mines. Silver plus 100, silver plus 1000, silver plus 10,000. Your silver reserve has reached 100,000 caddies. For help, Tom and Martin accidentally dug treasure from the silver mine. The top bronze boss was dug up, the guardian beast, the silver-scaled pangolin. The two old grandfathers are being chased by red-eyed pangolins. Hearing this, Yi Bai, who was breaking through, was anxious. What kind of treasure did the two newcomers find? Even the guardian beasts came out. He wanted to temporarily interrupt the breakthrough and hurried back to save the field. Unexpectedly, another news came. Reminder. The experienced Tom and Martin broke a rock group with a detonator in time. Leopard Head Inquiry came to help and trap the silver-scaled pangolin in the rock pile. The two got out of the crisis temporarily, and they went back to dig for treasures without giving up. Yi Bai calmed down, and Grandpa Jack here had gained a lot. Reminder. Grandpa Jack salvaged X100 aura and X5 diamonds. Your grandfather Jack received an aura shock because of salvaging the spirit stone and has been upgraded. The sudden news made Yi Bai stunned. I saw Grandpa Jack, who was salvaging diamonds next to him, was radiant. A multicolored upgraded light surrounds him. In the celebration of Alice and Lucky Cat, successfully promoted to bronze miner. I didn't expect the staff to upgrade faster than me. Yi Bai sighed in his heart just now. The aura that had been stored for a long time was finally full. The auger in the body rotates at an extreme speed to break through the last level. With the inflow of massive aura, plus fish to improve physical fitness. The inside of Yi Bai's body was as bright as a nuclear explosion, completely unlike the energy waves of bronze-level creatures expanding outward. The explosion caused the river surface to explode, and the waves rose. Before breaking through, Yi Bai was already able to forcefully kill in the field. Barely a monster of a silver boss. And this strengthening, the power is 10 times stronger. With the burst of golden light, Yi Bai's whole body was dyed golden. The laser light that burst from the eyes directly cut off a rock in the distance. He felt like he was evolving in a superhuman direction. Congratulations on your successful evolution to bronze primary. Your strength has been greatly improved. Awaken to the intermediate level of armed color domineering, adding winding function. Your physique, speed, domineering are greatly improved. When Yi Bai opened his eyes again, the 7 orifices are the unstoppable golden light. As soon as he stepped out, he appeared 100 meters away in the next second. What's even better is that there are 2 afterimages that are exactly the same as Yi Bai's real body. This is the afterimage blow of his fruit ability awakening after he leveled up. With the help of the glittering fruit, condensing light particles to temporarily create 2 combat clones. The combat power is more than doubled. With such strength, I am afraid that it is invincible below the gold level. And what I am most proud of is speed. Even if I encounter an invincible enemy, I am sure to escape. Quote. Yi Bai clasped his hands. He is extremely confident in his ability to escape and survive. With less than a day and a half left, the devil's big crack in the difficulty of SSS is sure. Announcement. Congratulations to the gold mine owner Yi Bai for successfully evolving into the first bronze level creature in this issue. Its combat power is strong and invincible at the same level. In order to reward his feat, we will reward you with a 3-piece farming set, a fully automatic tiller, a fully automatic seeder, and a gardening hoe. Everyone is guessing on the channel what effect the 2B rank cards have. Turned around unexpectedly. Half an hour later, another terrible news came from Yi Bai. Big Brother Bang doesn't leave any chance for us. You take all the achievements, what about us? Quote, he leveled up so fast, what's even scarier is the world's evaluation of him. What is peerless invincibility? That is to say, he is now at the bronze level. Then even the top bronze boss template can't beat him. Quote, isn't that reasonable? Just now, he forcibly killed a regional overlord before the card was released. Without such strength, how can it be recognized by the world? Quote, but the problem is, he hasn't broken through before. Now that it has evolved into a bronze level, who knows how the combat power will be? Quote, ... Intentionally competing with Yi Bai, Johnson and others, who were vying for achievements, jumped up and down. Don't panic, don't lose confidence. How many days can he be handsome? As soon as tomorrow is over, the trial is over, and everyone can go back and send rescue soldiers. That's when my capital has the advantage. The advantages that Yi Bai accumulated in the early stage, with the support of the super consortium, and even a country, are nothing. Quote, they can only comfort themselves. On the other side, Grandpa Jack's evolution has also been completed, and his stomach is growling. Grandpa, eat a fresh sashimi with mustard sauce, it's delicious. Alice found the mustard from somewhere, and after grinding it into powder, Grandpa Jack picked up the fish fillet and served it with mustard, and he enjoyed it very much. When had he tasted such delicious food, the white beard turned green. Reminder, your employees are in a good mood because of the taste of violent carp meat, and the work efficiency in the afternoon is plus 50%. The sudden reminder made Yi Bai smile. But it's not over yet, the changes coming from breaking through bronze are huge. Reminder, congratulations on reaching the bronze achievement, you can summon another golden employee. Note, the summoning of employees will depend on their own status, luck and other aspects to find the most suitable one for the current phase. Are you calling now? Wait a second. Yi Bai planned to return to the mine and summon him again, because Tom and Martin made him a little uneasy. Today, two lines go hand in hand, and both sides have gained a lot. He wanted to see what treasure was in the silver mines to the east. And just now, the three of them joined forces to bury the pangolin in the rock pile. Who knows when they will get out of trouble? Grandpa Jack, Alice, get in the car first. I plan to bring all these fish back to the mine for Grandpa Martin and the others to taste as well. Quote, this tributary is already in my hands, and I will move it to the periphery of the mine later. Yi Bai drove out of the mine cart and greeted the two of them. The two brothers did send me a message asking for help just now. Grandpa Jack quickly packed his equipment and got into the back seat. There is a wonderful spiritual connection between their siblings. Alice took the lucky cat and sat in the passenger seat. It's a bit troublesome to bring back this group of fish, so I can only pack it in a big bag and throw it behind the mine cart. Fortunately, I have this car, otherwise it would be very troublesome to transport materials alone. However, although the machine is easy to use, it is a big oil eater. In addition to the 3-piece farming set that the world just rewarded, the fuel consumption is equally astonishing. Quote, on the way back in the car, Yi Bai frowned at the oil meter. Thinking of the 3 rewards just lying in the system space, the heart is even more imminent. The hardest thing in the world is that you have a bunch of machines and cars, but you can't use it because of the oil. Can't delay any longer. Find an opportunity to contact the Gem Dragon Mouse, and find the oil at a high cost. Quote, and in the process of driving, through chatting with Grandpa Jack, Yi Bai also knew about the new features after his upgrade. In addition to the increase of all attributes, it is the improvement of master-level mining, which has become a master-level mining. And the most important one more talent skill. Gold Leader. As the leader of the gold miners, Jack can gain strength from each of his brothers. For each additional golden brother, it's all attributes plus 10%. The skills that each brother is good at, Jack has half of the power, is a well-deserved big brother. At the same time, there is a greater chance of summoning golden brothers, granddaughters, etc. Quote, divine skill, unquestionable skill. As soon as he saw this new skill, Yi Bai nearly hit a tree with his car. Don't look at the small increase in the primary level, only 10%. The problem is that this thing is super late and can be superimposed infinitely. At present, there are already 2, with a power increase of 20%. What if there are 100 golden brothers in the future, or even 1,000 or 10,000? Yi Bai seemed to have seen the birth of a terrifying old man. It seems that we will continue to win over Grandpa Jack and let him develop the territory with his brothers. And there is still a summoning quota, so be careful. Seeing the co-pilot holding the cat, Alice was blowing in the wind. Yi Bai suddenly moved in his heart and asked, Grandpa Jack, your brothers have millions, what about your granddaughter? Alice was very helpful as soon as she came. However, it is also about farming and planning the development of mines. I have to cook again, and occasionally have to look for gem mines, which is a bit distressing. Do you have any other granddaughters to bring over to help? Quote. Grandpa Jack touched his head and said, although there are still several granddaughters, it is estimated that the mine owner will recruit them himself. When the time is right, they will appear. And mine owners can go to Alexandria to see, sometimes, people can buy diamonds to help. Quote. Real hammer, Alexander is a black shop. Yi Bai complained in his heart. The way back was faster than when I came, and in a blink of an eye, I had reached the gold mine. Grandpa Jack didn't expect that he didn't see him all afternoon. The territory has changed so much, first of all orderly farmland. The moonlight wheat, Keelan watermelon, and sweet bananas on the fields have sprouted. The canals watered from the holy spring wells form a loop around the farmland. The surrounding forest trees have been cut down, and you don't need to look to know that it is the masterpiece of the leopard head. Instead, there are golden grass seeds all over the ground. I don't know what the plants eat to grow up. It only takes a long time to plant them, and they have already produced buds. It may be that the rules of the two worlds are different. The biggest change, of course, is the East. Thanks to the efforts of the two new grandfathers, and the sharpness of the Wolf King's mountain breaker. The hill still visible in the morning has been razed to the ground. Along the way, even the ground was plowed, revealing pieces of bright silver. Well, after struggling all morning, Yi Bai gained 100,000 caddies of silver. He took time to look at the wealth value. Good guy, including silver, gold, all kinds of diamonds, all the net worth has reached 5,000 points. This is not even a spirit stone of inestimable value. The second place Johnson has only 300 points. This includes gold, and other messy things. The third rank Muling Wei is chasing very closely, and also has 285 points. Basically first and second and below are not the same grade. No wonder someone said, Yi Bai's total wealth on the list is more than the second place plus the next 1,000. When I was cultivating, my wealth had grown so much. Wouldn't that be faster than other gold diggers digging their own gold? Many people are powerful. Yi Bai is more determined to recruit more people. Sir, you are back. The two grandfathers were addicted to treasure digging, and it was not enough to empty the whole silver mountain. He drove the machine and continued to dig into the mountain, always saying that there were treasures inside. Quote. As soon as he got home, the disgraced leopard head ran up to complain. He pointed to the rumbling construction site to the east and said, just now, the pangolin, which was as big as a hill, almost demolished its home. After finally using gunpowder to force back, the two of them went to dig for treasure again. Can't stop it. Too bold. Quote. It's hard work, I'll give you some meat at noon. Yi Bai appeased the security team leader and asked him to unload Alice. Parked the car outside the hut, and took Grandpa Jack to the east together. It seems that it has been suppressed for too long, and it is rare to have such a treasure. The two of them had so much energy. Quote. Grandpa Jack laughed. Along the way, the silver of Bai Wawa was piled up on both sides as if they didn't want money. In front of the silver-paved Cote strip, Tom and Martin were busy driving the mountain breaker and digging the mine. From time to time, because of obstacles, a detonator will be thrown to open the way. With sparks and lightning all the way, the two old men made rapid progress. Hey, boss, you're back. I found out this morning that there was something wrong with the land. So much silver is just a cover, the good stuff is still inside. Quote. That's right, we got it right away. Before, a pangolin bigger than the crocodile ran out to block it, but fortunately it was repelled by us. Quote. Seeing Yi Bai coming over, Tom and Martin happily talked about the harvest of the morning. Yi Bai is also curious about what treasures are hidden in the mountains. Grandpa Jack drove the rock-breaking crane to pull the waste soil and stones outside. The three brothers cooperated, and the efficiency was obviously doubled. However, when passing by, Yi Bai also found that he was lying on the side of the road. A baby crushed to death by silver. Reminder. You have found a century-old ginseng, and it is recommended to pick it. Reminder. You have found 3 revival grasses. Reminder. You found a blue fruit tree. There are good things everywhere, but the two grandfathers are clearly focused on digging for treasure. No fruit trees, no ginseng. The distressed Yi Bai quickly rescued these precious medicinal materials and fruit trees under the pressure of Yinzi. If these were sold on Blue Star, it would at least be a fortune. Make do, a house has. And legs are also meat, but this also highlights a problem. Gold miners, there is nothing to say about treasure hunting, professional enough. That is, there are still deficiencies in other aspects, which need to be filled by manpower. Go to the store later and see if I can hire a few girls. Yi Bai so comforted himself in his heart. And after all this tossing, with the joint efforts of everyone, they rushed before lunch. The silver mine was dug through, and the treasure hidden deep inside was gradually revealed. Before Yi Bai could check it with his identification technique, the mountain suddenly shook in the corner. With a roar, the rubble scattered. One is like a hill, more than 5 meters long. Cloaked in silver scales, silver pangolins gleaming in the sun sprang from the corners. A pair of eyes were extremely angry, seeing Jack and the three discovering their treasure. Even more angry, it hit the three of them like a meteor impact. Even with 2 machines were pulled into the attack range. The Wolf King Mountain Breaker and Rock Breaker were Yi Bai's only possessions, so how could they be destroyed? Yi Bai rushed up immediately. At the same time, the upgraded identification technique quickly gives the enemy information. Name: Silver-Scaled Pangolin. Level: Top Bronze Boss. Skill: Silver Scale Coverage. The surface has been assimilated by sleeping in the silver mines for many years. Not only is it extremely resistant to physical attacks, it is also extremely resistant to all kinds of magic and energy shocks. Closing parenthesis. Downhill. It is proud of its racial talent that it can easily drill through rocks and mountains. Even all kinds of metal mines are not afraid. Closing parenthesis. Man of Steel. The psychic creature, the body inside and outside is forged as one. The defense can't be broken even by primary silver creatures. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Description. Originally it was an ordinary pangolin, but I don't know what happened to it. Originally occupying a hill, sleeping with the heart of the mountain. Unexpectedly, after 8 lifetimes of bad luck, his home was demolished in his sleep. In the midst of rage, the combat power has been greatly strengthened, and it is recommended to avoid the edge for a while. This pangolin sells very well and has perfect attributes in all aspects. But what caught Yi Bai's attention the most was the last sentence. There is still a mountain heart hidden in this mountain. Yi Bai turned his head to look at the 3 gold miners. I saw that the 3 grandfathers were not nervous at all, but cooperated and took out a familiar colorful stone from the bottom of the mountain. Boss, look what we found. Your favorite baby. Quote. Martin held up the heart of the mountain and boasted loudly. He didn't realize that the original owner on the side had already charged with rage. Warn, your staff hits the jackpot and discovers the second heart of the mountain. But please beat the original owner first. Yi Bai frowned. The next moment, it has already turned into light and flew away. Big guy, I'll play with you. When he appeared again, Yi Bai had grabbed the tail of the silver-scaled pangolin. Get up. With strength in his arms, his blue veins burst out, and he grabbed the behemoth, which was more than 5 meters long, like a toy. Rumbling to both sides, Yi Bai has just finished leveling up, and his skills need to be practiced. This pangolin came too soon, like a sandbag. After being caught by Yi Bai, let it be beaten, it is not bad. Silver-scaled pangolins, as a tyrant in the mountains, when did they suffer such humiliation? He also thought of counter-attacking, swinging his tail, trying to entangle Yi Bai to death. Unexpectedly, Yi Bai just smiled contemptuously. Armed color wrap. In an instant, a dazzling black aura wrapped around his hands and body. As the silver tail swept over, he stood still. As if the breeze was blowing the hills, they continued to beat the pangolins. The sample is still not convinced. Yi Bai's body glowed, and suddenly 2 afterimages differentiated. He treats the pangolin as a ball and kicks it to himself. The monsters living nearby, not far away. I saw the old boss in the air, kicked around like a silver ball. The souls were frightened away and fled in all directions. Are you still convinced? Don't say you're just a bronze creature. Even if the silver boss is here, you will bow to me. In the future, there will only be one overlord at the bottom of the small basin under the river, and that is me. Quote. Yi Bai tapped the pangolin, but he didn't expect the other party to be very tough. Being beaten into a ball, still not begging for mercy. Instead, the scales stood upright, like silver flying saucers swept toward Yi Bai. Tips for carving insects. In order to conquer this monster by force, Yi Bai wants to let it fail where he is most proud. No dodging, carrying the damage, facing the rain of silver scales, and continuing to play. Hundreds of thousands of scales passed through his body, as if through nothingness. With a flash of golden light, the body returned to its original state the next moment. This is the power of elementalization, except for a few methods, or the gap between the enemy and the enemy is huge. Normal damage can be ignored directly. Seeing that the trick was ineffective, the silver-scaled pangolin quickly dug a hole and planned to escape first. Yi Bai didn't plan to let this boss go. Mainly a blow just now. The iron-backed carp king was already dead, and this pangolin was still alive and kicking. Its internal organs are consistent with the epidermis, firm and not damaged, and can withstand extreme pressure and injury. Coupled with its own talent, it is also very suitable for the underground world. With a good appearance and silver scales, Yi Bai has the heart to subdue it. So he grabbed the pangolin's tail again, and with brute force, pull it back again, and strike again. I didn't expect the other party to be very aggressive, and his temper was also very stubborn. As a generation hegemon, he would rather die than give in. Yi Bai was also reluctant to kill, so he shook the mountain for a while until he moved the surrounding area to the ground. Until all 3 gold miners dug out the heart of the mountain. Reminder: your 3 employees successfully won a mountain heart, 1 hole. Your mine has a total of 2 cores. You can choose to merge and continue to upgrade the mine. Yi Bai was annoyed and didn't want to stand still with this beast. You still don't want to bow your head, don't you? Don't blame me for being cruel. The silver-scaled pangolin was beaten up and down, but it didn't lower its head. Yi Bai sighed regretfully, when he was about to condense the spiral force to kill. In the distance came a waft of smoke. Fresh carp meat, marinated pork, grilled and oily steak. A wisp of fragrance wafted out of the mine, and Alice in an apron beckoned loudly. Had lunch. The pangolin at Yi Bai's feet moved its nose, and a pair of eyes suddenly lit up. Ding! Seduced by delicious food, the hungry silver-scaled pangolin begins to shake his heart. Please seize the opportunity. Hey, I didn't expect Alice to come out in the end. Yi Bai retracted his feet and released the silver-scaled pangolin. The other party didn't leave at this time, but instead his stomach growled. It sweeps its tail and sweeps away the gravel and dust on its body. Smelling the smell of meat, I ran to the mine. Ask Alice for meat. Meow meow. The intrusion of alien creatures makes the lucky cat feel a sense of crisis. It was a cat that took advantage of the crowd, even with a piece of braised fish in its mouth, and began to chase the pangolin away. I don't know who gave it so much courage. Okay, let's give it something to eat. Grandpa demolished his house today, so he always has to pay some compensation. Quote. Alice was frying the fish and threw a piece of jerky for it with a spatula. The silver-scaled pangolin hurriedly raised its head to catch it. As a result, the taste has not yet tasted, and it has disappeared. Its stomach growled, and it stared at the fish meat of the Balgu king that was being processed, and its eyes were red. Reminder: under coercion and temptation. The silver-scaled pangolin expressed its willingness to surrender, but it must be covered with food, and a daily supply of metal is required. Note: the evolution of silver-scale pangolins needs to eat silver, gold, etc. Seeing this news, Yi Bai was overjoyed and quickly agreed. Agree to the conditions. With this big guy to help, a lot of things can be done. Whether it is used as a mount or a guardian beast, it can liberate a large number of laborers. No matter how bad it is, you can always sell coolies and dig rocks, right? And with the signing of the contract between the two, there is a connection between them. The silver-scaled pangolin was no longer reserved, but opened its mouth wide with blood, waiting for Alice to feed. Don't drown it too much, the red carp that came up before. There is also the demon wolf meat that was killed yesterday, which is thrown for it to eat. As for the violent carp meat, just give it a few pounds to taste. Given the size of a pangolin, even if you feed it a whole head of carp, it's not enough to stuff it between its teeth. Quote. Yi Bai, who had received the new head mount, immediately regretted it. As soon as this guy came here, he ate and drank for free, and one bite was dozens of pounds of meat. Occasionally stir in some silver. He even secretly ate the gold on the side, with a great appetite. Grandpa, come and eat. Today's food is very good, and if you eat more fish, you can upgrade. Quote. Alice is greeting three grandpas. Tom and Martin studied the heart of the mountain in their hands. Unconsciously, two upgrade halos appeared. Reminder, your employees, Tom and Martin, have gained a lot from excavating the heart of the mountain. Together, they can be upgraded to bronze-level miners, and their strength and professional skills will be greatly enhanced. This unexpected delight made the dining table even more cheerful. And Yi Bai also took the heart of the mountain in his hand. He could already feel the heart of his own mountain trembling. Would you like to fuse the two hearts of the Yiqiao mountain range into two orifices to upgrade the territory? Needless to say, of course, upgrade immediately. Yi Bai simply made a big makeover, and took out the Little River Basin and Dark Earth cards that were previously rewarded. Integrate the heart of the mountain, liberate the river card and resource card. Following the order, as the two hearts of the mountains burst into colorful lights, they quickly merged together. The entire mine trembled, and the territory was vaguely shrouded in a circle of luster. Many malicious monsters were suppressed in this area and fled feeling unwell. In addition to the territory starting to expand, two cards disappeared in the air. Did you hear anything? The head of the leopard who was nibbling on the steak suddenly froze. Next moment, I saw a 100-meter river rushing from the west, forming a moat around the mine. There are also fish and shrimp jumping out of the river, which is rich in products. There are scattered gold sand and broken diamonds scattered along the river. What's more important is the wisps of aura emanating from the bottom of the river, the diamond light shining through the river. The jewels that light up the whole river. Haha, this is the site the mine owner laid down this morning. With this river, the territory is no longer short of water. In the future, I can still grill fish and eat it, which solves my worries. Quote. Seeing this, Grandpa Jack laughed. The lucky cat also meows, indicating that he has done a good job of leading the way. It's not over yet, look at the farmland. I found a precious fertilizer card, which can transform 100 acres of land. In the future our food, fruits and vegetables, never be missing again. Quote. Looking at this piece of the country that I beat down. Yi Bai smiled and pointed to the farmland that Leopardhead and Alice had worked so hard to plant not far away. I saw that the original orderly farmland was covered by a layer of nutrient-rich black soil. The black land spreads around the banks of the small river. The flowers and trees along the way have grown taller and grown at a speed visible to the naked eye. After a while, the banks of the river were already covered with green grass and towering old trees. The seedlings I planted just this morning have already come to fruition. Alice suddenly screamed, wearing an apron, and ran to the farmland to pick fruit in surprise. When everyone looked at it, they saw that the farmland was full of fruit, including yellow and green fruits. The big Keelan watermelon on the ground, the sweet banana on the tree. Even the swarms of wheat swaying in the wind and emitting moonlight. In half a day, these newly planted fruits are ripe. Seeing this scene, everyone laughed. It seems that we need to get as many seeds as possible, and move rare medicinal materials and ancient trees. Otherwise, it would be too wasteful to waste so many acres of black land. Quote. Yi Bai really thought, his dream is not just to build a simple mine. Instead, it takes gold rush as the core and wealth as the resource. Build a huge underground city with gold, be the owner of the city yourself, and then lay down a whole country. Continue to evolve and become a king yourself. Even become a god of the underground. The surprise is more than that. With the upgrade of the heart of the mountains, the territory was greatly expanded, and a series of reminders kept coming. Congratulations on the upgrade of your gold mine core, from one aperture to the heart of the two aperture mountains. The territory expansion is 20 kilometers, and the gold mine is upgraded to a medium-sized mine. One employee can be recruited on a daily basis. You have successfully used the B-level river card, Little River Basin, and the resource card, Black Land. The water resources and soil quality of the territory have been greatly improved. Daily produce 100 red carp, 100 river eels, 500 river mussels, 500 catties of lobsters and other river products. There is a chance to attract special animals, and even auspicious animals come to drink water. The effect of black soil takes effect, greatly increasing the yield of plants, and you already have 100 mu of the best fertile land. Maybe you should do something more. The series of news was deafening. I saw a lot of crops, fish and shrimp jumping out of the river. Exactly what it said. Beat the roe deer, scoop the fish and the pheasant and fly into the rice pot. Yi Bai felt a sense of accomplishment at this moment, and felt that his previous efforts were not in vain. At least solve the most important food and water in the early stage. In the future, I will not go out to hunt, but rely on this river. Hundreds of pounds of fish are caught every day. Occasionally, I can also make some spicy crayfish to drink. Little life is beautiful. Among them, with the upgrade of the territory, the more important thing is to be able to summon their employees every day. And today's summoning quota has not been used yet. In addition to the achievement summons Yi Bai obtained before, a total of 2 can be summoned at present. As far as he knows, the super mining farms under the command of many groups. The daily output of millions of gold, the manpower, in addition to hiring in reality. Also recruited and summoned native creatures underground. Their diligence is still higher than that of the Blue Star miners. I think no matter how good other people's employees are, there is no gold miner like me. Not only does he come with 2 magical skills, he is born to eat this bowl of rice. Occasionally, lucky cards are drawn, and there is a mutant version of Grandpa Whitebeard to help. Quote. Yi Bai was overjoyed. Alice picked some bananas and watermelons from the farmland and ran back with a smile. Going to split it and try it as dessert. But another bigger voice appeared in Yi Bai's ears again. World announcement. Congratulations to Yi Bai, the gold mine owner, for a lucky explosion. Successfully salvaged the second heart of the mountain. The core of the gold mine has evolved into the heart of the Erchao mountain range, the territory has doubled. Reached 20 kilometers, all attributes are strengthened. The gold mine has been successfully promoted to a medium-sized mine, in order to commend its feat. Special reward B-level character card, Gourmet Chef. Hope other mine owners learn from it. Until this issue, 12,000 mine owners have been born. Please make persistent efforts. Not long ago, Yi Bai's own upgrade has already exploded in the chat channel. Everyone heatedly discussed where his current strength was and how many people he had. Unexpectedly, in a blink of an eye, the other party has upgraded the entire mine again, and its development speed is fast. Jaw-dropping. Many second-generation mines murmured that they were subsidized by the company. Not necessarily so fast, not to mention the wealth that grows every moment, just the great harvest one after another. Gaining the favor of the world means that Yi Bai has a prosperous fortune and is not an ordinary person. I upgrade myself, and then the territory upgrades. He complements each other, or complements each other. I remember that it took months for those rich second-generation mines to upgrade. Quote. The risk is the same as the reward, he has made so much money in the mines. Be careful of monsters attacking at night. And after tomorrow, before the return, there will be monsters attacking. Although Yi Bai is strong, but the territory is so large. There is always a place for negligence. If you are accidentally attacked, a lot of gold is stolen. In the end, it was just an empty bamboo basket. I think the outbreak was too violent in the early stage, and it was useless to be weak in the later stage. Quote. Another B-rank card was awarded, but the name is from the life department, so it's useless. If there is a battle card, or a special gold panning worker, it will be even more powerful. Quote. Half the time has passed, only 10,000 people in our group have succeeded. Hope to have better luck the next day. Bring back some gold. Quote. Others may complain that the rewarded card is not the most precious geographic card. But Yi Bai reached out his hand to catch this card and was full of joy. I saw a man wearing a white apron painted on the card. Wearing a high hat, holding a spatula in one hand and shaking an iron pan in the other. A girl with a smile on her face standing on the stove. The girl is oriental, with gentle black hair. At first glance, he is a well-mannered man. Alice is a helper. Yi Bai put away the cards with a smile, and picked up a big red watermelon that had been cut on a chopping board. He nibbled without hesitation. It tastes really good. Keelin watermelon has no seeds, thin skin and thick flesh. With the nutrition of black soil, it is sweet and refreshing. Mine owner, taste the big banana. When the wheat is ripe, we may be able to eat the staple food at night. Do you like rice or bread? Quote. Alice was busy, with a thick layer of sweat oozing from her forehead. Yi Bai said distressedly. You take a rest, this meal is not over yet. At the beginning of the business, I just eat whatever I want. Quote. But seeing this large black land in ruins, I feel distressed. Can you find more seeds? With the nutrition of the black soil, you can plant it in the morning and eat it in the evening. Quote. Talking about this, Alice's eyes glowed with gold. Yi Bai nodded repeatedly and shouted in the channel. The mine has developed in an all-round way. At present, various kinds of plants and vegetable seeds are purchased in large quantities, and the price is favorable. You have a suitable price to see. Let me remind you that there are still rare goods in the early days. After returning to Blue Star, you can buy all kinds of seeds as long as you have money. Quote. 666, the big brother of the list is here. We're tightening our belts, starving for gold. You have improved your life. Quote. I found a broccoli seed in the morning, how about it? I have dragon fruit all over the place, just pick the seeds and you will have them. Does the boss still buy oil? You should have high-end black iron meat here, right? After eating the energy bar for 2 days, I really vomited. Quote. A few seconds after it was sent, a lot of messages flooded in. Sure enough, there are so many people doing things well. Yi Bai trades while eating melons, and occasionally buys a few barrels of crude oil. Just as everyone was immersed in tasting the food, a group of uninvited guests suddenly came down from the ground. Ding dong. Be tempted by the food and follow the aroma. Your friend Gem Dragon Rat brought the mole group to come to eat and drink. Led by a huge Gem Dragon Rat, there is a long dragon mole group behind it. Looking at the pork, steak, etc. that Alice was grilling, saliva flowed out of Mole's mouth. Because there were too many carp caught before, Alice also specially marinated a lot of dried carp. And the top-notch carp king meat is carefully frozen. The smell of pickled fish made the moles dizzy, and the gem dragon mouse looked at the iron-backed carp king, and saliva flowed out. A pair of eyes shine. But it was timid, especially seeing many strangers coming to the mine. Even the silver-scaled pangolin retreated in fear. Meow. Just finished eating a steak, enjoying a slice of watermelon handed over by Alice. The lucky cat clapped its hands and greeted the dragon and mouse to come up. You're welcome, treat this as your own home. Yi Bai's eyes lit up when he saw the jewel dragon mouse take the initiative to come to the door. Quickly ask Alice to bring out grilled meat and dried fish to say hello. What a big mouse, shining like a gem, so beautiful. Alice likes the first feeling of the gem dragon mouse very much. Serve them quickly with good food. The rest of the moles ran to the feet of Yi Bai and the others, nibbling on the unfinished bones, shark fins, etc. The gem dragon rat couldn't bear it any longer, burying his head in the dried fish, unable to extricate himself. Yi Bai also proudly threw a piece of fish meat from the king of the carp. This shimmering, multicolored slice of meat makes the jewel dragon rat ecstatic. A quick nod of thanks. Although it is powerful, it is still a dragonborn creature. But the racial restrictions are terrible. When have you tasted this deliciousness? For a time was fed dizzy. Eat more, eat more. Yi Bai smiled and threw out the fish for the moles to eat. For a time, the ground looked like a fountain, and moles emerged from the corners. Happy to enjoy this gluttonous feast. Your grand feat, you have successfully obtained the friendship of the gem dragon rat. Your relationship with the mole group has advanced from friendly to intimate, you are the only human friend of the gem dragon rat. To be honest, Yi Bai has been craving the body of the gem dragon rat for a long time. This hero among mice, Yi Bai has never seen anything similar in the school's materials. More powerful than the legendary treasure hunter. Combining the two most top rat bloodlines, he felt that there might be only one end of the entire underground world. However, because of this, the difficulty of its strategy is also ridiculously high. But Yi Bai intends to keep the water flowing and corrode it with the sugar-coated cannonballs of capital. If you don't believe that time, you will have no worries about food and clothing, and you will have an environment to eat while sitting. Can't tempt it. Now is not the time for my advantage to explode, wait until I go back. Gold and silver are converted into money, and then a large purchase is made. Massive quantities of materials have been shipped in, and I don't believe you can control them when the time comes. Quote. And now that he's being so good to the moles, it's natural to have a plan. Oil, Still oil, whether it is a mine car, a mountain breaker or a rock-breaking crane. Even the three-piece set of cultivated land, each of which is a big oil eater. Every time Yi Bai trades with people on the channel, he is always restrained. If you want to develop for a long time, how can you be stuck in the neck? And through the information of Grandpa Jack, these moles are very capable. Relying on the large number of rats, there is a dense information network in the underground, which can be called the underground bully. After a while, the well-fed moles let out a cheerful cry. And the simple mole group still don't know what the white prostitute is. Pull out a diamond from the ground to settle. Ding, the moles gave you 100 beautiful diamonds, worth 10,000 caddies of gold. Is this all Yi Bai wants? Looking at the gem dragon rat who had eaten a piece of violent carp king meat, he was still in the mood. Yi Bai picked up the lucky cat, rubbed the cat for a while, and instructed it. Lucky, it's time for you to contribute. You tell the dragon mouse, how can there be black paint around here? There is a pungent, black liquid that can burn. As long as it tells me the coordinates, I can give it an extra 100 dried carp. Quote. The lucky cat nodded again and ran to the jewel dragon mouse. Meow at it for a while. Jewel dragon mouse was a little afraid of attracting wealth, and moved his full belly. Whispered a few times. While Yi Bai was waiting anxiously, he turned his head with a showy smile following the lucky charm. His heart finally settled. Reminder. To thank you for your generosity, the gem dragon mouse told you a secret. To the southwest, in the direction of the silver mines you excavated. Continue to walk about 15 kilometers, under the same mountain range. Where the surface is covered with white earth, there is a lot of black oil hidden deep below. This news is worth thousands of dollars. Yi Bai clenched his fist excitedly. Finally got the coordinates of the oil, the location is really harsh. Reminder. You have obtained the mysterious new map, the coordinates of Bone Field. Please proceed with caution, the degree of danger, Class A. The pop-up reminder made Yi Bai realize that oil is not so easy to get started with. A-level danger, for 99% of newcomers, represents extreme danger. Even the top-tier second-generation miners and other geniuses have to risk their lives, and there is a high chance that the entire army will be wiped out. I'm not afraid, I just went to test what level of monsters the A-level warning has. I also have a mental preparation for the Devil's Great Rift tomorrow. Quote. Yi Bai has a plan in his heart. In the afternoon, let Grandpa Jack and others scour the river for spiritual stones and diamonds. He rode a pangolin to check the situation. But thinking of the spiritual stones in the river, Yi Bai's eyes lit up when he saw the moles that were gradually dispersing. Hey, it's time for you to make a fortune again. Yi Bai's smile looked a little shudder at lucky fortune. He took out a fish fillet from the king of the carp to tempt him to make money. He smiled and said, you will discuss with the gem dragon mouse. This afternoon, no, including tomorrow. I hired the mole rats to work together to salvage spiritual stones and diamonds in the river. The salary is favorable and can be settled with dried fish, pork and wolf meat. Even after the salvage, you can still use the spirit stone to pay the salary, how about it? Anyway, they are idle when they are underground. In addition to punching holes. It's better to make some extra money to subsidize the family. Quote. A miner who does not want to squeeze the residual value of a mole is not a qualified capitalist. This is also a small test by Yi Bai. If it is really feasible, then he will encounter various monster groups. The best option is not to kill or evict, but to adopt. Along with the chatter of Lucky and Dragon Rat, other moles came out to express their opinions. After some haggling, the mole swarm finally made a deal with Yi Bai. Reminder. After some friendly consultations. Are you willing to spend 100 carp, 500 caddies of wolf meat, and 10 spirit stones as wages? Hire 1,000 moles to mine for you for 2 days. Sure, Yi Bai agreed without hesitation. The devil wolf himself killed more than 100 heads yesterday, and was worried that the wolf meat ate and vomited. These meats may be extremely valuable to mole colonies. In Yi Bai's place, he even vomited to make money. Seeing that the contract between the two parties was reached, the moles chirped for a while. Start drilling holes for diamonds. Grandpa Jack took the two brothers to the river with a smile and said, with these little guys here, it seems that you can get thousands of spirit stones in the afternoon. Reminder: the mole you hired successfully salvaged a spirit stone. Reminder: the mole you hired salvaged a diamond. Reminder: the 10 moles you hired worked together to pull up a lump of gold, weighing 100 pounds. In just a few minutes, a series of good news came. Yi Bai's wealth soared at a straight-line speed. Is there a cheaper employee than this? Really good people. The subordinates are working, and the gem dragon mouse is full of food and drink, but lazily depends on it. Alice smiled and handed a super watermelon the size of a globe. It's sweet for you. The gem dragon rat's mouth opened wider than a human's, and the 2 front teeth unceremoniously plunged into the watermelon. How can the poor life in the underground have the nourishment of the mine, and the food comes to the mouth? Swimming in the river, running on the ground, planting in the fields, you can have everything you want. The full-fed dragon rat looked at Alice embarrassedly. After fumbling for a few times in his pocket, he carefully took out a crystal-clear ruby and gently handed it to Alice. Reminder: the gem dragon rat who eats and drinks for free is unhappy, and they hit it off with Alice. Kindly presented a treasured dragon blood spar. Sure enough, there is an unexpected harvest, every piece of meat is not free. Yi Bai smiled. Dragon mouse produced it, it must be a fine product. This ruby faintly exudes a wisp of dragon power, which is extremely extraordinary. For me. Alice took the ruby curiously and found that there was a drop of true blood sealed in the gem. The gem dragon rat nodded for a while, looking simple and honest. Then I'm welcome. Alice is looking at the ruby. Unexpectedly, the gem turned into a red airflow through the wound she accidentally cut in the past. Immediately poured into her body. Alice is fusing dragon blood crystals and is undergoing unknown mutation. This unexpected surprise was beyond everyone's expectations. A phantom of a giant dragon appeared behind Alice. It didn't take long for the news to come. Congratulations to your employee Alice for successfully absorbing dragon blood crystals and obtaining a strand of dragon blood. Successfully advanced to bronze level creature. The surprise doesn't stop there. What makes Yi Bai laugh even more is the following reminder. Congratulations to Alice for receiving the blessing of the gem dragon and mouse. The probability of awakening a hidden occupation is very small. Dragon warlock. The meal was worth it. Yi Bai checked Alice's newly acquired talent occupation. Dragon vessel warlock, a special occupation based on the ability of dragonborn to transfer. Not only can dragon language magic, but also good at blasting skills. With the promotion of the profession, you can also absorb the blood of different dragons. It can evolve into a half-dragon humanoid, or spit dragon breath. You can also have a deeper sense of the earth through the skills of the dragonborn. More chance to find the legendary dragon vein. Have a natural inspiration for treasures such as gems, gold coins and more. Quote. Its introduction basically includes functions such as combat and treasure hunting. Basically, as long as it is related to the dragon system, none of it is easy. It's such a strong power. I can feel that I know a lot of dragon language magic, and I can also blast skills. Will I be a super blasting machine myself? Quote. Alice, who had just been upgraded, was full of surprise, carefully familiarizing herself with the power in her body. Alice, this afternoon, you should familiarize yourself with the power and manage the mine well. I'll find some new people to help you out. Quote. Yi Bai reached out and took out a clover, and used it decisively. Then he rubbed the lucky cat and the dragon rat again, and took out the gourmet chef card. Summon 2 gold miners and use B-level character cards. As the card turned into a burst of light and disappeared, a black-haired girl wearing an apron appeared in front of her. At the same time, 2 other golden lights landed. The appearance is the same as that of Grandpa Jack, but one with a red gourd on his head. The other is muscular, carrying a super drill, and his aura is extraordinarily fierce. Congratulations on your lucky explosion, you successfully summoned the enhanced version of the gold miner's gourd Grandpa and drill Grandpa. Congratulations on summoning the little chef Zawan. Sure enough, in the state of the explosion of luck value, the attributes of the summoned employees are obviously enhanced. Yi Bai greeted the 3 new employees and asked impatiently. What skills do you 3 have? At the same time, 3 attribute panels appeared in front of Yi Bai. At the same time, Jack, who was salvaging in the river, saw the movement and shouted. 2 more brothers are here. It seems that the guards of the mine at night don't have to worry about it. Yes, the arrival of the gold miners, the most happy is Jack. His attributes have been increased by 20% across the board. And Yi Bai, who was looking at the panel, suddenly twitched his eyelids. The harvest this time is no trivial matter, all of them are special talents. Character: Grandpa Gord. Employee number 6. Loyalty: 100. Level: Senior Black Iron. Attributes: Strength 50, Spirit 45, Constitution 60, Agility 48. Skills: Master Mining, Earth Breathing. Master Level Farming Techniques. Grandpa Gord is a variant of gold miners. In addition to digging, my favorite is growing vegetables in farmland. So that the technology of farming is one level higher than mining. Farming efficiency is 8 times higher than ordinary people. Closing parenthesis. Good harvest. After the seeds and crops he has handled, the average yield is plus 10%, and the ripening speed is plus 50%. All kinds of pest disaster losses are reduced. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Before Yi Bai felt sorry for Alice, tired of farming. But as she said, it's such a waste to put such a good 100 acres of black land here. Yi Bai just bought a large batch of seeds from others, and a 3-piece farming set for world rewards. All this has a master. Yi Bai patted Grandpa afraid of the gourd on the shoulder with satisfaction, and ordered. In the future, you will be the agricultural captain of our gold mine, and I will give you this black land. All the food depends on you. Quote, no problem, I've never seen such good land. Just sow the seeds on it and you can reap the harvest. Quote. Grandpa Hulu looked at the black earth on both sides of the river and was more excited than Yi Bai. As for the other drill grandpa, Yi Bai was even more surprised by his attributes. Character: Grandpa Drill. Employee number 7. Loyalty: 100. Level: Bronze lower level. Attributes: Strength 150, Spirit 100, Constitution 160, Agility 148. Skills: Master Mining, Earth Breathing. Combat Specialization. He is very rare among the Golden Brothers and is good at fighting. Hercules. Strength increases 3 times, can wrestle with rhinos. This was the first time Yi Bai had summoned a bronze creature, which was enough to show his strength. And it is also the most important combat unit for other gold diggers. Grandpa Drill followed Leopard to familiarize himself with the environment first. Because today our mines have been upgraded and our territory has more than doubled. In addition, the land and rivers have been changed, thousands of pounds of gold, and even a lot of spiritual stones have been scoured. I guess there must be some monsters that don't have long eyes to invade at night. In the afternoon, the 2 of you will be ready to fortify. It is best to build several of its walls and prepare for the night battle. Quote. Okay, just leave it to me. This treasure is not for those monsters, whoever has no eyes wants to come over. I twisted its neck. Quote. Grandpa Drill took his natal drill and joined hands with Leopard Head to build fortifications. The underground world is not all smooth sailing. Every time the mine is upgraded, the territory is upgraded. Even digging a treasure mine and finding a treasure will cause the crazy attack of local monsters. Even ordinary people who are panning for gold are occasionally killed by bombs. The unlucky ones dug into the monster's lair, and not even a bone was left. Mine owner, what about me? The new cook, Zawan, looked at Yi Bai eagerly, her long eyelashes moving. She looks only 15 or 16 years old, plus she is not tall and has a slender waist, which makes her even more adorable. Character: Little Chef Zawan. Employee number 8. Loyalty: 100. Level: Senior Black Iron. Attributes: Strength 60, Spirit 70, Constitution 40, Agility 48. Skill: Master Level Cooking. The little cook has liked to cook and pickle since she was a child, and she has superb cooking skills. Cooking speed plus 10 times, delicious plus 5 times. Closing parenthesis. Mental intelligence. Little Chef's head is very smart. Not only does she create all kinds of new delicacies. Occasionally, foods that increase special attributes are created. Closing parenthesis. Well known. Everyone said yes to the food cooked by the little cook. The physical strength and energy of the diners are accelerated, the mood is plus 20, and the work efficiency is plus 30%. Closing parenthesis closing square bracket. Haha, Zawan, you are my timely rain. See this pile of red carp? There is another room, full of wolf carcasses from last night's hunt. The fur, teeth, and magic core are all rare materials. The wolf meat has a strong taste and is very hungry. Quote. Yi Bai, who had read the properties, pulled the little cook without recognition and introduced the various types of food in the house. And this tyrannical carp king, whose meat is delicious. If it is not dealt with, if there is any deterioration problem, it will be a huge waste. From now on you will be the head chef of our mine. Specializing in issues such as food. You can see that so many fish are produced in the river every day, and the vegetables and fruits in the field will be continuously pulled in the future. When the employees are full, they have the energy to work. Your task will be heavier in the future. Quote, Yi Bai said earnestly. Zawan blushed and wanted to pull out the hand that was held. Unexpectedly, Yi Bai was too strong and did not twitch. She whispered, I know. I am afraid that my cooking skills are not good enough to cook alone. Quote, Don't be afraid, little sister, I will help you. Alice greeted generously. Her character was lively and active. It is completely different from Zawan's subtle and reserved. Well, then I will trouble my sister. Zawan finally withdrew her little hand and nodded quickly. 3 newcomers came, plus the silver-scaled pangolin that was just received. There is also a small riverside, the moles who are digging their holes in full swing. Today's gold mines are extraordinarily lively and happy. First of all, Yi Bai took out the 3-piece automatic tiller, automatic seeder, and gardening hoe that he had previously rewarded for farming from the system space. They were handed over to Grandpa Hulu. He also stuffed him with dozens of seeds such as broccoli seeds, cool radishes, cabbage, grapes, mangoes, etc. that he had received from other people. The farming will be handed over to you, and there will be more people in the future. I will arrange a few more people for you, and now I can only work hard for you alone. Quote, Yi Bai ordered. He looked at the 3 machines. Both happy and worried. Happiness is at least 10 times more efficient in farming. The worry is that there are 3 more big oil eaters. The energy problem is imminent. Fortunately, the coordinates have been obtained. Now the most important thing is to occupy it. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.